Gotta put your trust in Him. He will lead the way. Let Him heal you. Give me strength every day. Let Him heal you. Blessings come my way. Let Him heal you. Give me strength every day. Let Him heal you. Heal you. Blessings come my way. God, put your trust in Him. He will lead the way. Open your heart to Him. Take your pain away. He's our Savior. Our God. Let Him heal you. Give me strength every day. Let Him heal you. Blessings come my way. Let Him heal you. Give me strength every day. Let Him heal you. Blessings come my way. Out of the darkness, you were always there. I was torn and broken. I'm back in your grace. Lord, I will praise you. Lord, I will praise you. Let Him heal you. Give me strength every day. Let Him heal you. Blessings come my way. Let Him heal you. Give me strength every day. Let Him heal you. Blessings come my way. Let God give you the way and the strength to go on and move on in your life. Let Him lead you to the way, to the path of your destiny. May we all go into one. Give me strength every day. Gotta put your trust in Him. He will lead the way. Yes, we are back, people. What's up? Welcome to the Healing Your Soul Sunday show with your host and guest, of course, here in the building, Vero G. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We took a little hiatus again, take care of some personal matters, family things. Sometimes this weekends I've been booked now for certain things, so forgive me if I haven't been really much on this show. But we have a lot to say before we get our guests on today on the show. Today's guest, guys, we have an amazing, phenomenal friend of mine. Also, like I said again, he is a SOKE. He'll talk about that as well on the show, what that means, and in the martial arts. And he goes by the name of CJ The Terror. Yes, so we'll have him in a few minutes on the show and talk about what he's been doing since we had last time on the DTF radio show, as you guys know, each every Wednesdays from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. With your girl here, Vero G, and co-host Lama. All right, so let's get right into announcements. Those who missed me, what's up, guys? You can also chat on the chat option there below. Say what's up. You can share this as much as you like. It's on YouTube right now, also live on Facebook and at Twitch. So people share. Spread the love, as they say, at the Brooklyn way. Brooklyn way. Hey. All right. Let me move this mic a little bit so I can get you guys to see my face a little bit. Hey now. Okay. All right, excuse me. All right, so let's get right into announcements, people. So, before we get into anything, this is, you guys know, this month is the domestic violence awareness month. Is very close to home to me personally because I am a domestic violence survivor. So this month we'll be talking about, I will show you guys snippets of videos, short films, people's their own stories of their own domestic violence situation, how they got out. And some things will be graphic, or some things may be trigger to certain people who have been affected by it, or those who know who gone through something like that. So I'm giving you kind of a warning right now, to come if you guys see that, and what the case may be. But just giving you a heads up, it's something to be educational and also to help people and to let people know that you're not alone in this situation. And I feel like we should embrace this more than ever because it's something that it should be something that we more should be talked about just only for a month. So we're going to talk more about this heavy on the show this month, so stay tuned for that. Other announcement, guys, last night, big shout out to the Holler Back Excellence Awards that happened last night in Connecticut. Thank you. Big shout out to my team, Gemini Stacks. Jam Pine Media came through in the building to show support. And it was just an amazing spiritual awakening event. Thank you for the amazing nominations. I didn't only get the nomination for new. Or I'm gonna put this thing while I talk to you guys here. Okay, let me just put this up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, let me get my notes right now. So, like I said again, I have not been only nominated for New Gospel Artist of 2022. I found out last night that I was also nominated for Song of the Year, which you guys know is the theme song for the show, Let Him Heal You. So if y'all want applause for that, I appreciate that. Clap, 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 clap. Okay. Unfortunately, I did not win, but I felt through the word of God and through my word of what I do in my own ministry of my platforms and what I give back to the community, I think it speaks volumes. And this was actually the 19th annual Holler Back Excellence Awards. They do this every year, and they have very well known. They call it gospel awards. I call that gospel um, people in the industry mainstream that come every year. They just had yesterday, I believe, a young lady by the name of Jamok Carr. I hope I get her name correctly. I did check her out. She's a Grammy nominated gospel artist. She came in the building. She gave through and she did her performance. I big announced for her, so she did her thing. They also had CC Winans, who was one another celebrity guest that came through and previously in the Winter Award shows. So it's just phenomenal to be around excellence yesterday. And even though I didn't win, but I felt like to be even nominated for this prestigious platform means that I'm on the right path. So thank you for those who've been supporting our brand, supporting the platforms, and thank you again for continuing believing in what we do to give back and all that said and done. So God is good, Almighty, and blessings are coming along the way. Since we took a little break, I mentioned it before. I'm not going to show it now. Maybe I'll show it during my other segments on the show. I did win the CETA Awards this year for 2022 for that same song, people. Like I said, everything is timing in this world. Sometimes you won't get it right away, but eventually you do get it. For that song, Let Him Heal You, and I will present to you guys, and maybe in between the music break commercial, what do you call it, the award itself. So I'm honored for that. Besides that, let's see what other notes we got here, because we got a lot of things since we last been on the show. So just be patient with me, people. Also, guys, let me take this mic out so I can continue on talking what I got to show you guys right now. All right, people. So as you guys know, this is October month, as we all know. And this is the latest issue of the magazine I'm going to show to you right now, people. You could get it at www.magcloud.com. That is where you guys can get it. So here we got the main issue. We got the gentleman. He is an R&B artist by the name of K-Tron, and also known as the Wolf of R&B. He's on the main cover of the Vero G Spotlight magazine. That's that one. And we also have the special edition version of this month. We have on the cover of that issue a group called On the Road Again Show. They have a podcast, and there are three phenomenal men that provide, platforms for themselves for a lot of amazing people on their show. That's seen at various sponsorships. So you guys see the bottom. I believe one of them is 950 Lounge and a few other sponsorships they have there. So check them out, guys. Again, they're both on the this month's issue of the Vero G Spotlight magazine. I had a third one, but unfortunately, I had to take it down due to finding out certain things about um, of what the situation is. But I really feel at the end of the day, my work speaks for itself, and I just want to appreciate everyone who's been on the platforms and on these magazines what we provide. So thank you for those who've been supporting. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So let's take this down for a minute while I continue talking to you guys. And so as you guys know, new music is coming on soon. That's a part of announcements. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so new music is coming out soon. Stay tuned for that. The music video, I want to put a plug in there with myself and the mod. Will be coming out soon. I'm excited. I won't say too much, but stay tuned. Also, people, like I said again, the Energy album will be out next year. I don't want to rush this album. It's already done and completed. I just got to get the paperwork done. So bear with me, guys. What's up, Tyrone? Clap, clap, clap. I see you, brother. Thank you for the claps here, people. I see y'all. Thank you. I'm loving the love here tonight. Oh, thank you so much, Gemini Stack. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. I felt a little bit hurt yesterday. I didn't win, but like I said again, it was great to have my team there to support me. We went to Olive Garden yesterday. It was thank you for the team for supporting me with that, and it was just great overall, just the experience on that. And to see that your work speaks for itself. Even though if you didn't win, you're nominated, that means that people are recognizing your work. So I'm either honored, so I'll take that. All right, so back to the album. The Energy album will be out next year, so stay tuned for that. I'll keep you guys posted when I get the release date. All that said and done. All right, so next thing here, guys. Yes, this month I'm excited to also announce on here. I'll show you guys the picture of that right now. I am on the issue of the Ladies Mike magazine. Big shout out to Brian for that. That is coming out October 21st. That will be released soon. So, people, I'll let you know when you guys could, if you want to get a copy or you want to purchase your copy, I'll let you know where you guys could get that set and done. Also, thank you. A big shout out to everyone out there who's been giving me nothing but B-Day love. Support you. Thank you so much for all the support and everything else. Also, thank you everyone who's been donating to the GoFundMe page for my family that had a situation in the Bronx, a fire in a building. Thank you for those who've been supporting and been sharing. If you want to still donate, please do because it's not for me, it's for my family. So please support as much as you possibly can. Appreciate that. So, a few more announcements before we get guests on our show today. Let me just get right into the kill, as they call it. So, guys, please, I cannot stress this enough. Go vote for our song, Got Me Going Crazy, featuring real lyrics. That's on the R&B category. That's at www.ldmradio. No, actually, www. Let me see if I get the site right here for you guys. Uh, it's www.ldmradio.com. Trying to get that for you right now. I can't even find it. It's weird. There's always something fucking happening. If not, it's okay. Next time I'll just put it up. Always have to get things advanced with that, so don't worry about it. But anyway, the site's there, guys. It's www.ldmradio.com. So please support that if you get a chance to vote for that song. Also, just to give an update on that since then, I'm also on two other categories. I'm on this category, the pop category. You could do this once a week, guys. Vote. Please do share. Tell your friends to support. Appreciate that. I'm on the pop category. That's Far Away the song. And another category, I'm on the hip hop. I can't get that because it's a video. It's not a picture. So, but I'm also on the hip hop category under through their eyes or through my eyes. So definitely support that. That's the site right there, guys. On the flyer, that's the website where you guys could go and support. Again, it's www.ldmradio.com. I appreciate everyone who's been supporting, showing love and respect. So much blessings to all tuning in right now, and greatness for all tuning in and show love, man. Like spread the love. Appreciate that. So yeah, you already know. Yeah, already know, people. So in a few, we're gonna wait for our guests to come on. But before that, let me also update you guys again. If you want to follow me on my social media, that's my information there. You could do so. My Instagram is at official Vero G, or for this show, it's under there. It's at healing underscore your underscore soul underscore Sundays. With that said in mind, so also I wanted to while we take a break. Okay, I got you. Let me get you on right now. Hold on. So real quickly, let me show you the pictures of last night event. So I could show you. It was a beautiful event. It was kind of chilly actually. It sucked, but other than that, it was a great event overall. And I thought it was a great time to experience that situation. So let me show you guys the picture right there. That's myself right there, and this cat. Oh my god. Anyway, that's me, and of course the management, JM Empire Media right there himself in the building. So yes, that was yesterday, as you guys see. I'll put the maybe to there. So uh, so yeah, like I said again, that's me right there. Yesterday with well, everybody know who he is, JM Empire Media or Jason Murillo or the Lama, whatever name you call him. So yeah, so that's him right there in the building. Uh let's see what else we got here. Let's see. We also got here Gemini Stacks in the building. Yes. Me and him yesterday at the event. Like I said, it was a really great event. It was really great to be there and be part of the situation, what that case may be. And yeah, that is the red carpet area. Okay. The red carpet area. So yeah, it was really cool to get that experience. And just be a part of something and just be just recognized in many ways. So I appreciate that experience. So yeah, people. Working, yeah, yeah, I know I be always trying to work. So it's a lot of things right now. Let me just I'm trying to multitask here, as they say. It's like a lot of work. People don't know how much work you got to put into these things. You know what I'm saying? Hello. Yes. So besides that, people, there's a lot of things happening right now in New York City. We're gonna talk about that as well in the current events. Oh, there he is. I see him. Okay, I got you. Got you. All right, so we're gonna get right into our guest right now before we get into the next segment later on about the MCA situations happening with the violence and all that sorts. So, guys, I'm so honored to before we get him on the show. I'm just truly honored to have him on the show. He's been an amazing friend for me for years. I know for years in college days and that sorts, and he has done a lot of great work in the martial arts field. And since we last had him on DTF Radio, I'm honored to have him back on here as well on Healing Your Soul Sunday show. So let's give it up for right now, the one and only SOKE CJ The Terror. How are you? Oh, I can't hear you. Oh boy. Hello? Yeah, I can't hear at all. Oh boy. Try. I don't know what's going on. It's like it should be an option with audio. No, I don't hear you. Oh man, we'll just get right into it. I will be back in a few minutes, guys. Don't worry. So sometimes things happen with technology and stuff. So, but bear with us, guys. Bear with us, please. But yeah, like I said, he's come a long way. He's done a lot, and we're gonna talk about some things he's gone through and how he overcame those situations recently. Um, with the bullying situation and how this martial arts industry really is, and not to bash them, but it's just I think to have an eye opening of the situation. If you guys know what I'm talking about, so yeah. Let's see what we got here. I'm just checking something right now while we wait. Alrighty, so I'm gonna do this. All right, so I'm just waiting. Oh yes, definitely. Let me see. Let's go to the chats right now. While we take a wait for the guests to be on the show. Hello, Sari. What's up, sister? How are you? Hello, Mama. How are you? Good afternoon. Happy birthday. I think it was a birthday. Oh my god. How was it? There's so many things on mine happening today. It's like, oh my god. Yes. What's up, everybody? Ah, yes, definitely. I enjoyed the show too as well. Gemini Stacks, it was great. Something of a moment I will never forget. It was just great to be a part of it, and know that situation. So, you know. So while we wait for our guests, I guess we could take a little quick break, music break. I'll play a video while we wait for him to come back on. Let's see what we could do here. Hold on. So we're gonna take a little quick music break. And we're gonna play one of the songs I did a couple years back, and it's called "Don't Cry." As you guys know, it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month this month in October. So I want to just play these two songs while we wait for I guess to come back on the show. And when it's called, okay, I'll let him know right now. Let me just get that situated. One is called "Don't Cry," and the other one's called "Broken Dreams" featuring real lyrics. So I'm gonna play both songs back to back. We'll be back on the show, guys. Again, you can share, you can like, comment, what do you call it? You're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, whatever. Just spread the love, guys. You're watching Healing Your Soul Sundays, and we'll be right back with your host, Vero G. And hopefully we got our guests back on the show. So let's get. I'll be right back, guys.
Hey, what I tell you about washing these goddamn dishes? Get your ass in this damn kitchen, girl. Sick of this shit. Broken dreams, broken dreams.
Yeah, these broken dreams can't never be fixed. She walking down the street with a broken heart. Broken dreams can't never be fixed.
Broken dreams, broken dreams. Done with all this nonsense, break away from this. Tomorrow will be a better day, so wake up and pray. From this night, where I live every day, wanting a better life. What more can I say? Broken dreams, broken dreams.
Yeah, these broken dreams can't never be fixed. She walking down the street with a broken heart. These broken dreams can't never be fixed.
Kids getting older, worrying about their mother, sticking around in the brutal relationship. Who right, who wrong, who really cares? Mama loses so many tears, she can't believe the man she fell in love. He trained like the summer breeze, catching so much the pain, fighting and biting and yelling and screaming. Kids is crying and yelling and saying, "Daddy, won't you leave my mama alone?" I'ma dial 911, pick up the racket and say to put the phone down. The head is right in back of the head with the bottle of liquor. I know you have excessive with the center. And rifle up the puzzle out, I like to soar with goat. No more being clueless and hesitating to grab a kids. I ran downstairs and to the front door, hop of the whip, heading north. He started yelling, "Where you going with my kids?" Broken dreams, broken dreams. Done with all this nonsense, break away from this. Tomorrow will be a better day, so wake up and pray. From this night, where I live every day, wanting a better life. What more can I say? Broken dreams, broken dreams.
Yeah, these broken dreams can't never be fixed. She walking down the street with a broken heart. These broken dreams can never be fixed.
He went back inside, started drinking more liquor. He can't take the pressure, started talking to herself, but working on the picture. She knows she gotta let him go. She still hearing the voices running in her head. And say that we just gon' whoop my kids to give me one more chance. She's staring at the mirror, looking all the cuts and bruises. She keeping all the pain locked inside of her soul, but like a prisoner. Her daughter said, Mama, don't worry, you could do better. You I know where your cream to go to kingdom. You nothing but a woman, baby, let him go. So she took up the red and green and threw it on the floor. She still been getting bad dreams and nightmares. And daddy gonna find out where she live. But so she changed her name and cut her hair. For her husband to recognize her when she walked the streets.
Yep, the streets.
Broken dreams, broken dreams. Done with all this nonsense, break away from this. Tomorrow will be a better day, so wake up and pray. From this night, where I live every day, wanting a better life. What more can I say? Broken dreams, broken dreams. Girl, don't you cry, he's not worth your time playing those games. It's time to say goodbye. He made a fool of you, took your innocence, took your common sense. You're his property, act like this is the norm. He ain't no good for you. Better leave before it gets too late. Gotta be strong. There'll be better days, just move on. Find someone worth your time that appreciates your mind, your love, your heart. You're everything, you're beautiful in every way. Don't let no one take that away. You're a gem. In many ways, just know that I'm there for you. I'm a phone call away. If he hurts you, I will break his face. Make sure he will be replaced. He will never hurt or call you. Cut your ties and start all over. Start all over. Start all over. I've been there in your shoes, torn in pieces, didn't know what to do. Was weak and broken from a man who I thought he loved me, told me sweet things, but only lies and being mean broke my spirit and my heart, left me in the cold to rot and die. Put fear in me, didn't believe in me. Crushed my dreams, crushed my life, crushed my thoughts, until I woke up from this hell to get out and get away, to start my life in a better place. wipe these tears that he has caused. So now you see, I've been there too. You're not alone, 'cause you got me to let my pain be your story. To open your eyes. Know that there is so much to life, to see the beauty all around you is more to see.
All right, guys, welcome back. We're taking a quick music break on the show. Thank you for being patient with us, guys. So that was two videos I wanted to add for this month for domestic violence. If you guys like that, you can check it on YouTube channels, on the Vero G Spotlight Network, on mine, or on Real Lyrics under Real Lyrics. So thank you for watching that. That was Broken Dreams, the first one, featuring myself on that video, and the other one, Don't Cry. So definitely go support that, and that's available on all digital platforms. So, guys, let's get right into our guest. I'm excited. Let's reintroduce him in the building before he gets on. So, I'm honored to have known him for many years at Monroe College, an alumni, and he has been just an amazing friend and a brother of mine. So, he's been on a couple of our shows here and also on DTF Radio. But let's give his flowers and flowers due. Let's give it up now. Finally, gonna do it now. Yes, exactly right. Let's give it up for SOKE CJ The Terror. What's up?
What's up? Y'all can hear me now? You
Yes,
got to
I'm
hear
here.
me? Okay,
Yes.
cool. I had to go to Plan B from the cell phone to a laptop here. I don't know what's going on with technology, but
No,
I got
listen.
my
It,
I had
it
to get my cell
happens.
phone. I had
Don't
to
worry
get my
about
cell phone hooked up, man.
it.
I
No, it's okay.
apologize to viewers. You know, we always have these technical difficulties sometimes. It's like,
It's it's all
it's like
good. It happens, but thank God we make it happen. So that's key right there. But yeah, I'm honored to have you on the show again. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. Since we had last had you on DTF Radio, there's been a lot of things happening, and then since now, me and you've been talking privately, and I know there's some things you want to talk about, so let's get right into it. Before anything, what have you been up to since we last saw you?
wow, I've been a lot's been going on. Like I said before, I've been was working on my blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Shout out to my Brazilian jiu-jitsu team out in Washington Heights. We located on 190th and in Broadway. Coach Jorge and Coach Logan. There was three young brothers of us that we actually started the Brazilian jiu-jitsu classes, and all three of us got to get promoted. Myself, Amandi, and Commando, we all got promoted to blue belt.
Awesome,
So that
congrats.
that was going on as well. Um, a lot of things have been going on. I've been doing like shout out to my good friend Sensei Michael Hutchison for the last year, well, almost about a year now. So I've been blessed to be going to his school up in Long Island, which is All Island Martial Arts, and I've been training up there with his students and training his students as well. Shout out to his students.
Oh my God, we were just getting into the conversation. Okay, get back on. We'll just continue on what you said, CJ. Please, I don't know what just happened. I got you. I got you. I'm like, what happened?
I know about
Okay,
it.
no, it's
Yeah.
okay. Just continue on. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So we started this whole competitive like class, and like it was great that some of the martial arts that he has, these young men and young women competed in Long Island a couple times, and that was about I've been doing that, working on my system, developing Kaizen Do Jiu-Jitsu, and just training and having a blast. It was great to have my grandmaster out here from Arkansas. He's one of the representatives for uh, I think it's called the Freedom Fund for the military who got wounded veterans. So he's
Nice.
here fundraising in New York with the corporate office. He got to do the 86 stair climb of the Empire State Building. It's been a bless, because of the pandemic. I had a, I was waiting 2 years. I finally got into the USA International Martial Art Hall of Fame that was done by Dr. Jim. It's been two, it was awesome. I wish I would have got to speak to. There was a Shihan, we call Shihan, which is a title from India. I wish I would have got to speak to him because we friends on Facebook, and and one of his organizations out to India. I couldn't get to talk with him because of the time. It was late. It was like 10:40 at night, and I had to go to work the next day. So I had to literally book it from Newark into back to my house.
Okay.
But otherwise, I've been doing good, doing everything else I could do. Um, I know last we spoke about the Roni documentary, and a lot of people have been asking, I got to give a shout out to Jason and you because y'all have been helping me get my story out there, and a lot of people in the whole community don't understand my story. And the Roni 61 is like a PG-13 version of my story. It's deeper than that. You know, I got with a case. There's a caseworker I work at that we was talking about the old days in the Bronx, and it's kind of strange because me and Dr. Smith know each other, and this young brother, older brother, call him, knows me from them days as well. So he knew me from the days of playing Hunts Point and basketball with the OGs and all that stuff. So it's been great. Traveling to Long Island, training with the All Island martial arts, training with also jujitsu. I always had a full plate. When it came to the martial arts, I gotta thank once again to Anthony's Worldwide Martial Arts, Grandmaster Anthony, Grandmaster Danny Bolden, Grandmaster Jay, and my good friend in Chicago, Seafood, Rick, and everyone else that's been helping me. I've been promoting myself out there. I don't have to do. I have not done a TikTok like video training video, nothing like that, because that's not my forte. I'm not good with technology, as you see, but I have been putting myself out there. I've done tournaments with video tournaments, called video tournaments, with Poland, with India, who was in Germany. As a matter of fact, I got involved with the organization in Germany, International Martial Art Association, that's been around since 1968. I think I got with them, and then even Poland, they the grandmaster in Poland, he has set me up and said, man, like I'm forever grateful because the way you spreading the art over here, and we see how it is, and I think the blessing is that you can find ways of training with different people. Um, Last week I had an awesome training session, a one-on-one training session out in California, and I don't know how to pronounce her name. She has this long name. I don't know how to pronounce it, quite frankly, but she was a bronze winner in the Olympics in karate,
Wow.
and she had a class that I caught the flyer by screenshotting it, and it was on Karuf. It was on the Kata Karuftan. I've been trying to learn it for a long time, and everybody I've been trying to teach it from me, like even with the Super MP, everybody that taught me hasn't teach me the right way, the proper way of how to learn it. So she actually saw me through. We did it was called Google Video, and it was kind of weird because it's us alone. So it was like awesome that it was like a one-on-one training session. We learned, we kicked it, we talked it, and I even told her she ever comes to New York, like hit me up. I'll be a tour guide. I'll hook you up. I'll show you around. And each one teach one in the martial arts. That's how I look at it. You help me get to a certain plateau. I'll help you when you come here to New York, and that's how I've always been in the martial arts. I've always been one of those that always try to help those that needed help. If I can help you with, would it be $1, 10 cents, 25 cents,
Give me 1 second. Hold on. Give me like
Yeah,
2 seconds.
yeah,
Hold on.
yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on.
Who's out here? Oh. Hey, what's up, Sarah? What's up, man, Sarah? Oh.
Hold on. What is
What's
it?
up, Days? This is what we happen when we do live, folks.
Where's my Where's my water from yesterday?
I don't know, but I have stuff.
Hold on.
Hurry up, Jason. Oh gosh. Jason, hurry up. You can?
Yeah, my water is so
Okay, he's coming.
Where's my honey?
Oh my god.
Oh, honey's over here.
What's up, folks? What's up? Let me see. We got people. Hello, mi gente la India. What's up, Sarah? What's going on? We got here. We got Tyson Green. What's up, Tyson? What's up?
Thank you, sir. Have a good one. Be safe. I gotta do a show. Send me some. The pasta's mine.
Well, which one's that?
I don't know, but I gotta do a show. Sorry. Multitask.
Hey,
I am
hey, don't worry
back.
about it. That's how we do it. That's how we do it here.
Yeah,
Listen, so
it's
yeah,
great. Okay.
it's great, it's crazy. So so that's about the gist of and then getting Katie ready. Hopefully this is the year she become a green belt. My
Ah,
daughter,
yes.
so yeah, so I'm working on her right now. We just finished up the Zoom tournament in California, and
Awesome.
we're doing a lot of things.
What about
She's still not ready yet for the live tournaments and stuff like
what about
that.
the win?
So and then I'm trying to work out with Jason too, trying to do something with Jason as well later down
Yes,
the
he told
line.
me.
Yeah,
Yes,
we trying.
yes.
I'm talking about doing some like dope photo shoot. So I'm looking at like November to do it because I
Mhm.
see all these martial arts with these dope ass pictures at these martial art events and Hall of Fame events and honor events and they all got these dope pictures and stuff like that. And I'm like, I need something like that. I mean, I have one that they did for me in Puerto Rico, which is like it's kind of cool, but I want like something where I got even like my my blue belt, like my blue belt on and something with my other belts on, I'm saying, other creative belts that there is. But that's it right now. Right now we just my daughter, we getting ready for Pittsburgh next month. Eastern
Nice.
USA Eastern USA Martial Arts Association. I'll be celebrating 5 years with that organization. My daughter will be her first time going.
Aw.
Because of the pandemic and stuff, I couldn't bring her last time when I wanted to bring her.
Yes.
So now it's like it's on like Donkey Kong, like they said. Um,
Exactly. That's right.
so it's great, man. You know what I'm saying? As a like you said, it's a show of healing. And like the last two videos that you were showing about them, dealing with the healing process of domestic violence and dealing with the healing of certain things in life. How do we process the healing? Does the
Mm,
healing do we heal? How do we heal? How do we get over healing? For me, it's for me, for to heal, it takes a while to heal because if you have helped somebody, you love somebody, or you respect somebody, you're there for somebody, how do you heal? How do you go about the process of healing? Do you go to
mm,
church? Do you turn to God? How you turn to and us as artists, you as a musician, me as a martial artist, how can we heal? Because sometimes we need our own healing as well.
mm.
Sometimes we need our own healing. And who we have sometimes, we have our roots, our foundations, you know, we have those certain people. I always turn to Dr. Jeffrey Smith, that's been with me for over 30 years. And before I make, and like I said before, any decision I make in life, it's with him. And then and then I got my good brother, Michael Hutchinson. Which when I went to him and started training with him, I started listening my resume to him in martial arts, and he looked at me like he wanted to kill me. And he
Oh
said,
my.
and, you know, and the reason why I said like that, it's not a negative way, but the thing was, he always said to me was like, "Listen, dude, I don't care what you have. I just want you to come in here and do your thing. Do what you gotta do and do your thing, man. I'm not here about ranks. I'm not here about your titles. I'm not here about that. I'm here to see what you could bring and help my students, and that's been the positive forces where he has allowed me to come in on days where he can't teach. He's like, hey, listen, can you come up to Long Island and teach the class? And he's just like Dr. Smith, he's like, come in, teach, and I'll go in and teach, and he'll fix the schedule way where I can come in, as they say, do two classes, do the kids class, do the adult class. Let me leave on time because I got to go out to Ronkonkoma, Long
Oh
Island.
wow.
So I'm going. It's a 2-hour trip, and for those that in the martial arts that don't know this, that I travel everywhere. I got to go out of my own pocket. Whether it be Wildwood, New Jersey for jiu-jitsu tournament, whether it be Pittsburgh, you know, and that's the reason why my plate's been so full that I haven't even took time for myself to get ready to compete. But knowing that next year, I'm really saying this, but next year I'm definitely it's gonna probably the last time I compete because I mean for me I've done it all in the martial arts. You know what I'm saying? For me as a competitor, last year I was lucky. Last year I was blessed to take part in California where they had online Zoom tournament, and you got to win a ring, like a championship ring. This one of the rings right here. They
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, show them.
so this
Yeah.
yeah, hold on.
Okay. Yeah,
So
because
this
I was
is
like, wait a
like
minute. Okay.
yeah. So this is basically the ring that they gave out to everybody,
That's
all
beautiful.
first place winners. So I got a ring, and then then it was Poland, not Poland, it was Germany. They had the championship belts that they gave out last time.
That is
So
beautiful.
so like it's like I already got everything off my bucket list, so now it's time for me just to research, build, just doing deep research and how help myself build. 'Cause that's the only way that you could combat the negativity there is to sit there and read and do real research. And I'm going back to the roots of Monroe College
That's right.
because Monroe is where we learn a lot of that stuff from. How do we research? How we do seek knowledge? Because Jay Z said a recent interview with I forgot who it was, well Kevin Hart, where he says some people can give you information, but that information that they're giving you might not be correct. So it's up to
Yes.
us as human beings to sit there and do real research. Not to say that what somebody's telling you is could be falsified. It could be the truth, but then why run with it? And then with everything that's out there in this modern technology, I don't like do Google. I don't believe in Google because when I was in college, we always learned that Google doesn't always have the correct information. So
Very true.
sometimes we gotta go the old school way, books, research, you know, and there's nothing wrong with listening to what people say and how people say. And it's like, and it's great that because all of us that came from Monroe, it's like it's a community. Like I bump into people all the time, and they be like, "Where you went to?" Went to Monroe. Like, what? You went to Monroe College? I was like, "Yeah." And it's just like a whole conversation. Like another coworker of mine, she was in Dr. Smith's class as well. She's a caseworker, and she was like, "Wait, you was in Dr. Smith's class?" I said, "Yeah." You was teaching there? I was like, "No, I was there doing a speech."
Oh, awesome.
So
Nice.
it's all about how do we, what I'm saying, how do we heal, and healing is one way of healing is talking about it, and that's why Ronnie 61 came out. And the reason why, like I said to you on the last on your radio show, was the reason why me and Jason came up with that was because Ronnie means someone that's by themselves, but it's still you're not by yourself.
Exactly.
You still have a support network, and 61 being my old shield number, but it was about my life story, and it was about me telling my side of the story, that what actually took place, how I got to where I got to in my life, which it was just a PG-13, I can call it, because I didn't want to go too in depth with it, because I don't know if my daughter's gonna find see this down the line, and it might find us. I'd rather sit there with my daughter and tell her bits and pieces about what happened. So it's like a puzzle piece. It's still the early lifestyle, I didn't do nothing negative. Don't get me wrong, nothing negative, but the actual history of it. But that's why I decided to go from the martial arts to now, and that's why I tell a lot of people, how do we heal? Because as a law enforcement, we also need time to heal.
That's right.
We need to debrief. So martial arts for me is my way of how to deal with the stress of everyday life. But then when you have certain individuals that, because they're part of a political network in the martial arts, doesn't like what you're doing because you're not part of their political connections. So when you go outside their political connections or outside the political network, whatever it is, and they don't agree upon what you're doing, it's sad to say that they start try to throw stones, try to put negativity on your name, try to put dirt on your name, basically. And you have worked so hard to get to certain levels where even individuals that you thought that were your friends or thought they were with you, they start listening to these people and just die off. I had that with these two people. I respect them. I love them. I still respect them. I love them to this day. You know what I'm saying? They just disconnected me. All right, fine. I don't care. You want to move on? Go ahead. I
Exactly.
don't have no ill wills, no ill feelings. Because I think Medea best said it like this: when people want to go, let them go.
Mm.
Let them go. Let them go. You got to understand that in your life, you want to have those roots, right? Those roots is what's gonna keep you down when you have that storm, right? So you people will come to your life for a season, the leaves. Some places the leaves change, season change, time change, everything changes, right? That's those that's supposed to be in your lifetime just for that time being, for that time moment, for that brief moment in your life. You're not supposed to hold on to them because they was just there to maybe even take shade or not even be there in your life actuality, but try to be there, but try to, when things go wrong, they just change the season. The twigs, the branches, those are the ones that are very the conniving ones. The ones that try to be in your life and then all of a sudden they just die off and you don't see them no more. Or they try to destroy you. So you want to have that root. If you could find those roots in your life, and then I've been sort of blessed to have those roots, you know what I'm saying? When, Grandmaster Anthony and my coach in Jiu Jitsu, Jorge, you guys and my mom and family, Dr. Smith, and everyone else in my Anthony's Worldwide Martial Arts. Because it's kind of, it's, what saddens me is because it takes the South, people from the South that don't even, like, I just know them through Facebook to hold me down. And you expect those that was with you. But you gotta understand, like I said, that branch, a lot of that stuff transpired because of certain individuals. Certain individuals wanted me to. They would tell me this is the way you have to do things, and I followed that path. I followed that way, and then when I saw noticed that that path wasn't my way, I didn't like that way that they were doing it. I just didn't agree upon it. Why should I follow you? And then when I started going back to research and find out that a lot of stuff that what they saying wasn't true, it says they still not true.
That is so true. That
And
is
that's
so
how it is. That's how you gotta
true.
heal. That's how we start the healing process. You know, you could be verbal abuse, mental abuse. It don't have to be physical. It could be mental, physical abuse. Yeah, it don't have to be physical. It could be mental. It could be very. You could deal with mental abuse. It don't have to be very physical. Someone could just be mentally just trying to keep you in control.
Amen to that, man. I have stories on that alone. Shoot. I do want to add this because there's something that I know you personally wanted to talk more about as well. Besides that, before we get into that topic, so those who don't know what Soki means in the martial arts, in the.
So what's going on is that I'm gonna get emotional about this real quick. I'm trying not to.
It's okay. Let it out. Let it out.
so so what happened was at the time when those are around me that abandoned me in the martial arts. Grandmaster Anthony picked me up when I was down, like I always said, and it wasn't really. It was a lot of those that was inside the circle of Grandmaster Anthony. Grandmaster Jay, he had promoted me to third degree black belt, but what happened was he was going through his own personal stuff, so he was saying that I was having trouble getting ranked. So did Danny Bolden, Grandmaster Danny Bolden. So they reached out to Grandmaster A Train, and that's how the fifth Dan came about. The fifth Dan was just given to me as a fifth Dan, but I had stipulations behind that fifth Dan. I had to do research. I had to do a syllabus. I had to do certain things to get um what he called confirmed. Yes, I was a fifth Dan during that whole time period, but be confirmed meaning that now it's like, hey, you got everything together, we good to go. So There was a man named Rick, Seafood Rick Valdez. I think I'm not pronouncing it right. Him and Aaron had Grandmaster Aaron out of Canada. They both run an organization that helps martial artists as well. So they heard about my plight. They said to me, "What is your name in your school?" I originally had a different name, but then someone said to add the do to it since you want to. Do means way. So Kaizen means the way to improve the martial arts, and Jiu-Jitsu is like this warriorship and stuff. So Sifu came to me, Rick, and Sifu means teacher or high teacher. And Grandmaster Aaron's asked, and I was talking more to Rick than Aaron. So I don't have to go through Grandmaster Anthony or ask anybody to sign off on my certificates to promote other students when I have the ability to have my own school. That's where the Soki came from. So what Soki means is head of family.
Yeah.
Meaning the head of you're in charge of your family. So it doesn't mean you're a grandmaster. It doesn't mean nothing. It just means that you're head of your family. Meaning that this is your family, this is your clan. And that's where the Soki came from. I didn't pay for it. I didn't ask for it. It was just handed to me as a blessing. So I don't have so I can go to Grandmaster Anthony. He could sign off my certificates. I don't mind him signing off my certificates. He could sign off anything. But for me to run my own school, run my own system, run my own thing, that's where the Soki comes in. So that's where everybody was like, wait a minute, hey, he's now 6, 7 there. No, it's you don't know the whole story. So before you start talking out your behind,
Yeah.
learn the story behind it. Because like I said, that's where I started also creating my own family patch, my own legacy patch. I'm working on my own family patch right now. I've worked on it; it's done already. I'm gonna put it out there soon. Matter of fact, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's right here.
Okay.
This is so.
Oh, that.
This is the actual patch. So this means my name in Japanese, which Carlos actually means Karus. And Karus, uh,
Mm.
Kaizuko or Kaizuko, which means family.
Okay.
So I found this logo and it's kind of cool. So this is where my organization is going to come out of, where I'm going to help other martial artists that are having issues with promotions and other things. So besides the Kaizen Do, which you can learn from me, now you also have this organization, which is going to help those martial artists, no cost, no nothing. You just got to produce certain things for me that I can promote you to where you want to be at. Because that's how it is in the martial arts. We are branches, we are trees, we are the forest. We are supposed to continue the growth of martial arts. If we don't continue the growth of martial arts, then the forest dies off. But everybody has their way of teaching. Everybody has their own way of doing things. That's where the Soki came from. It was no like grandmastership, nothing. It was where it was basically saying, this is CJ Rivera, Carlos J. Rivera's, and he is now in charge of his own school, which is Kaizen Do Jiu-Jitsu. So
Mm.
now I can promote, and that's what it is. The Soki title is also Soki title has major power. So let's say I'm a fifth Dan right now. I'm fifth Dan. I could promote anybody to a higher Dan because of the Soki, but I refuse to do that. I will never do that. I will never promote somebody, higher. This is me saying that I will just, for those that want help, let's say first the third Dan. Anything after third is gonna be a lot more than it. And we're talking about 30-page thesis papers. I'm
Oof.
going more I'm going in more in depth with this whole this is the thing with martial arts, because you have people that want to follow the people that are like tourists or historians of other countries. That's fine. But when you really get into the meaty ingredient of a lot of stuff in the martial arts, that's why they want to silence certain people, because they just want people like, I think George Carl said this. I think George Carlin, the famous comedian, he
Yeah.
said at one time, some people, some jobs, he said it's a job. A job just wants somebody that just can do the job and mind their own business. They don't want somebody that's knowledgeable of certain things in life. And then when you try to get knowledgeable, like with the Soki ship title, with Soki title and everything else that came along with it, like I got the master instructor. That was only from another organization out in Canada, which Grandmaster Anthony put me on. Because Grandmaster Anthony said, I'm gonna put you on with them to make you master instructor, even though you're master instructor already with me. But so in case I can't produce a certificate, you have it through them. And then even though he couldn't produce a certificate at that moment, on the back of my certificate when I gave my thesis paper, 'cause I had to do a thesis paper for Grandmaster Anthony. On the back of the certificate, it had the 95 grade on it, plus saying that as of March, I'm a master instructor underneath Grandmaster Anthony as well, after 4 years or so of working hard. Besides that, I got the Krav Maga going on as well, and I have Dr. Jeffrey Smith. He trains in Krav Maga with me, so it's a revolving door. Like each one teach one. Dr. Smith told me about life skills and how to be a father, how to do this, and it comes back to me now. Now for me to really repay my debt is by training him and showing him the essence of what I learned in self defense applications. Because everything you learn from white to black is just there for you to get to black belt. Now, when you get to black belt, it's like now you have to really start your organization, your skills, and stuff. And I was starting that before I got black belt. I was learning. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't say that. I was like we call it like a secret ops. So I was like a secret operation where I would go and learn, figure out, write, take notes. How can I move my chess pieces so I can get what I want to get into in life? Because I'm not gonna sit there and wait for somebody to basically bless me. I'm not gonna sit there and wait for somebody to tell me, oh, oh, you've been here 9 years now. It's time for the promotion. No, I want to know how can I get promoted. And they put these fake years and like I found these two graphs one time, and then they researched these stuff. And this is the funny part. It's like when people tell lies on their research, when they copy and paste, or when they delete the site source, right? So they will take the site source and fit it to a point where they limit the site source. And I find the site source, and I'm like, okay, the site source led to like a messenger network
Wow.
where somebody created this graph, and it's multiple graphs. But then when you do your research, the dance system in karate didn't come out to 1970. So and you ask them that when did this all come? No one and no one can tell you. And then when I start spitting out this research on social media and different places, what happens? They start labeling me, they start putting me out, and then they'll take the research I had and they'll put it to their stuff, or they'll do certain books and magazines and start lying on their books, and either they will do what's called fraudulent documents, or they'll like I forget what you call it. I had the word in my mind where
Uh,
they'll take some plagiarize. They'll
Plagiarism.
plagiarize,
Yeah.
yeah, plagiarism. So they'll plagiarize somebody's work. Like they'll listen to something on YouTube or somewhere places, and they'll plagiarize the work. So that's why when I did the magazine with you in October, if you saw it on the top, I gave you where I got my site source and I gave you the page number. That's how you do a real, legit, thesis or paper. You cite source to source, and then most magazines, like you said, like, I know you run magazines as well. Some magazines will probably even put in the back of the magazine where did the author, where did the information come from?
Exactly.
Because in this day and age, it's like anybody gets sued for anything. In this day and age, everybody wants to make that money real quick. Everybody
Yeah.
want to make that they want to make that quick, fast money. So they were willing to do whatever it is. Oh wait, you took two words out of my song, or you took two words out of my book.
Now
I
they want
want
to.
my money for it.
Exactly. Anything now. Anything now.
Anything now. It, it's
Exactly.
it's it's like I tell my coworkers, we gotta save our pension, so we gotta be be careful out there, and that's how the
Yeah.
marshals have helped me a lot out too at work. But that's where the Soki came from, and that's why I'm considered a master instructor and Soki, where I can now run my own self defense. I can run my own thing without even even though I still go through Grandmaster Anthony for everything, still I don't I don't make a move in the martial arts unless I call him, text him, say, "Hey, listen, this is what I'm doing today." And when he came to New York, the first thing was that Wednesday I shot over from work. Sorry, I shot over from work straight to go see him. You
Aww.
know, because that's how it is, and he's been here multiple times. I mean, we had let me tell you a funny story. We was in Jersey this past year in Atlantic City, and Wazir, who was my best friend also. So we hanging out with him and his wife, waiting for Grandmaster Anthony. We in the restaurant, and we are like, "Yo, let's have some sake." So we started drinking some sake, whatever. So then A Train calls and like, yo, I landed in Philadelphia from Philadelphia to Atlantic City, so about like 40, 30 minute cab, a 30 minute, 40 minute, drive. So we sit there like, oh shoot, we gotta sober up a little bit. And then he's like, nah, I could drive. I'm good. I'm like, nah. So we sober up. But anyway, so we pick up Anthony, and Grandmaster Anthony was so nice enough to let me stay with him in his hotel. And then, I got snowed in, so I told him, listen, I can't go back to New York. He said, stay in my hotel. Don't worry about it. If you got money with you, you're good. You food wise. I said, I'm good. I'm fine. And he took care of Wazir and his wife and everything else. So and part of his organization is also to help those. Like he has his own school in Africa. You know, right now I'm getting my passport. Um, he's gonna put me down as his caretaker. We're trying to travel to Africa.
That's
Our
amazing.
so my goal with him is to travel to Africa, and I think it was another country as well. I think Trinidad. I think he has a school in Trinidad as well. So we try to look at Trinidad as well. So and that's how it is in the. I mean, to sit there and bash people in the martial arts or because they not monkey flipping in the way you want to monkey flipping and stuff, or
Hmm.
it's just that's the hard part about healing, because when you think you have healed, you have somebody lifting a rock somewhere and they
Hmm.
trying to find something, and then I gotta sit there and sit there and not take the abuse. And it's funny because the people that have done this to me, I've
Yeah.
seen them in real life. Like just recently, I shook hands with a man and he said to me, "Are you all right?" I said, "Are you good?" And I
Mm.
walked away. And matter of fact, I walked away where it was a point where I'll get it right here. So I actually was walk.
Oh,
This came from the Hall of Fame event that was in Jersey recently.
that's
So
beautiful.
since he was talking about this individual was talking a lot about my championship belt that I got from Poland, I
Mm.
decided to walk around with this belt the whole way around.
Oh
You know,
man.
just to, like see what he wanted to say to me, or whatever it was. That was an add-on gift. That's like an add-on thing they had in most Hall of Fames. In most Hall of Fames, they have add-on gifts. Like you have rings, you got to buy separately. That's costs money,
Yes.
And I pay for everything. I don't pay for everything, but I'm blessed that I pay for most of my stuff. For my
Yeah, of
mom
course.
and family, my mom and family has helped out as well. And then the reason why I went to this event was God bless my ex girlfriend. She was the one that paid for this like 2 years ago.
Wow.
But so that's where the whole essence of Soki comes from. You know, and I don't be like some martial arts like you have to call me Sokyo, you have to call me Grandmaster. Nah, man. I tell people all the time, you call me CJ, you call me whatever you want to call me. CJ, what's up, CJ? What's up, Sensei? Or what's up, Senpai? Or whatever you know what I'm saying. I'm not about titles. I'm not about you gotta call me Grandmaster. You gotta. There's some people. I mean, I went to a couple of years ago. I went to
Oh,
man. I went and said, "What's up?" About a person's first name. He said, "No, you gotta call me Sabu Den, whatever it is, whatever title it is." And I'm like, "What?
you can't make
Yo,
this up.
dude, like, we're gonna call my grand. So I should. So you're a DJ. I'm gonna call you Grandmaster, Grandmaster Flash, DJ Flash, whatever you want to call yourself.
Hmm.
It's just, the thing with, and that's the hard part about healing, because then you got to sit there and deal with it again. I've just been going on 5 years, and then like
Yeah.
just mind your own business. You know what I'm saying? Like if you stay out of grown folks' business and let people do what they gotta do, and just not be in their business. I had a grandmaster say that one time to these fools, like, "Yo, mind your business. If
I
everybody will mind your
agree.
business, like,
Yeah.
I keep and I put it out there in my butt. My one of my grandmaster friends, I've been studying Goju for 13 years, 13 years. And my system was mostly Goju anyway, because I love Goju and I love the Okinawa Kempo as well. But Goju, which means soft breathing, hard breathing. For those that don't know, if you want to learn about that, look up the Bubishi. It goes under the poem or the Bubishi. So I've been wanting to get ranked in it for years, and then I was supposed to get ranked by somebody, and certain things didn't happen. And this particular grandmaster, I spoke with him privately, and he said, "Hey, if you want to get ranked, I'll help you." We had a discussion, and you know, I really didn't push the fifth degree on him. What I said to him was, I'll take a black belt. And we started talking. He's like, I was like, you know what? What you want? I said, man, if it would be possible, third degree black belt. If it's possible,
Yeah,
that's
is
how I
it?
did it.
You
I
know.
said possible. So then he ended up, promoting to third degree black belt in Goju, which is amazing because that's now saying that you have now polished you've polished off a little bit of the Goju. Now you have to polish the rest of it off and work on the next part. And then you just have people calling him up and then sending him messages that where he had to take down certain pictures of me and him and take down certain certificates off the page because people were just bombarding him. And he's like, listen, do it. This is my system. If I want to give somebody something, why you even bother with it? Like, and then the sad part is like you go on social media and say, oh well, I don't care what people do to martial arts anymore. All this. If you don't care, then why you keep getting? Why you keep putting your 2 cents in anything?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then the one person, the one person that really started this is he's somewhere in Timbuktu, America, somewhere. Not even don't answer my phone calls. You don't answer my messages. He just flew off into the sunset. And certain people say, "Well, now I got to handle." No, you don't have to handle nothing. You call him up and ask him what happened. Why is this? Why you not addressing it? What the elephant in the room is there. You know what I'm saying? And it's the healing. How do you heal? And then when you find that, wait a minute, I did everything I could in my power to abide by what this person wanted me to do, and then he decided to do what he wanted to do at that moment. But I told him like I don't want certain people at this, talk about the exam, I didn't want certain people at the exam. I didn't want that. And then when I was told one thing that Thursday that the exam will be this way, and you show up to take the exam is this, like when we go to college, right? Your
Mm-hmm.
professor tells you the exam is this certain way, right?
Yeah.
And when you get the exam, you're sitting there like, yo, teacher, you didn't tell us this. And then you
Mm-hmm.
got that whole monkey wrench in the whole thing, and you're sitting there like, yo, Johnny, like, what the hell? What did we learn this? Yo,
Exactly.
yo, I didn't learn no square root of the fourth degree, the eighth degree. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And I got,
crazy.
and that's why I tell people every time in the martial arts, it's like martial arts school, whatever it was, it's like that. It's just sad that, how, like we say again, I know I keep sounding like a broken, not a broken record, but, it's hard to heal when you still have this, same stuff just keeps popping up. You
That is
know,
true.
it's keep, hey, listen, I made a mistake recently and went on somebody's page and maybe made a mistake, by liking their page. That was my fault because someone told me that they was being invited to a certain location. So when people tell me that, I like to look because I want to make sure that when I go to these locations, the individuals there or those people there, I'm prepared mentally, physically, and mentally because you threaten my life. I've been
Mm.
threatened. My life been threatened multiple times by these people. They tell what
Just
they want. They tell what in the martial arts world. This is in the martial arts world. They don't want to. They're scared to knock on my door. I might call the. Listen. You knock on my door. You don't have to worry about the police. You worry about CJ, the other CJ. The CJ that many years ago, P.O. Barfield, God bless him, what he had. That was my first mentor in law enforcement. When I was 18 years old, he said, um, you're going to law enforcement, and the people, places, things that you hanging out with, you can't do no more. So I had literally had to bury everything that I used to do in the past there. So that's what I mean. That the old CJ is where you don't want to see.
exactly.
That CJ where I don't mind going in a coma. I don't mind because I've been down that road before. I've been fought plenty of battles, staples in my head, broken hands sometimes, But and at the end of the day, I have a daughter to think about. I got a
Mm-hmm.
pension. I got a job. I got a secure job, secure pension. I have a daughter. What you have? You have nothing to lose. It's like what the Joker said to Batman. What you gonna do? I have. What you willing to do? You know what I'm saying? Your strength, your might, and everything is not gonna defeat me. What you
Mm.
have to give, what you have to offer, and that's why I say to everybody in the martial arts, like, what you have to offer me, nothing. It's like you sit there and all that other stuff. Like you talk about people can't get certain items. I got friends of mine that go to Japan, Okinawa. Like that's where the poster came from. A friend of mine went to Japan. Went to I think went to Japan or Okinawa and he called me up. I think he texted me up and said, "What size you wearing uniforms?" I brought him like a straight up uniform. I mean, I didn't ask him for it. He just bought it for me as a gift. You know,
That's
anybody, and then that's all I say to him. You know, at the end of the day, he's like, you know, it's we have, you know, we have to let things go. The
I
first thing of
no,
the feelings, let things go.
no, definitely. Before we continue on, I want to take the time out, okay? Because I know you for a long time. Now, this is not champagne. I'm gonna give champagne eventually. This is giving me your flowers, and also and contribute to the things we all accomplished in general this year and following years that passed. I don't know if you could see it. It's a little champagne bottle.
Look, I drink water. I'm trying to get some sake, but I couldn't find
No,
no
no,
sake.
no. But this actually water inside, so I don't have the
Yeah,
champagne yet. But
yeah.
salute to you. All right, and
Yeah,
and and,
that
and
makes,
yes, and let's trigger a little quick toast to that.
yeah,
Good shit, good water.
yeah,
But salute to like I said to you, and
yeah.
I've seen your growth as a friend and someone who's been in this industry, particularly the martial arts industry. And I mean, if you want to get more into it, you could do so. I just don't, to their certain extent, because the fact I'm asking you, because I personally know what battles you're going through, and if you don't want to talk about it, fine. But also, as being in this industry, being bullied by your peers and being disrespected, and you talk about a lot about healing, which is very good because you have to heal going through this process and everything. How do you feel in the martial arts industry? What could be a change? So if anybody gone through what you have gone through could put a stop to it, because technically in martial arts it's about defense, it's about protection, it's about having confidence, it's about also what's the word I'm trying to find? The same time it's about integrity, and the same time they're not accepting this kind of nonsense in their own people. So how can that be changed?
The thing is there's a prayer, right?
Mhm.
And I go back to this prayer, and it goes, accept the things that you cannot change, the courage things that you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So when it comes to the martial arts, when you're doing research, when you're doing things, you tend to open up to finding research that wasn't there previous. And what needs to change is that as martial artists, and Bruce Lee best said like this, martial is about expressing oneself. It's
Mm,
about putting yourself out there. The martial, first of all, the martial arts was deemed to be for self defense purposes. It was to defend your family, defend your honor, defend your country, defend your village, any means possible. And then little by little, we started coming up with these tournaments, but it didn't come until it hit the West. And what happens is that as martial artists, I understand that there's a history. I respect the history more than anybody else. But when you have the disrespectful and the bulliness and the stuff that comes out of this, where you got people just cyber, and it's just not one person, it's multiple people
mm,
attacking you. And you got to understand this, cyberbullying is a crime, right?
yes.
And then another thing is that if you don't have the admissible evidence, means the actual evidence, then you should not be talking. And also, if you really want to look at it, let's look at it at a crime scene, right? Let's put it to a crime scene. So everybody likes crime scene dramas in these days and age. So many of these crime scene TVs. Let's look at a word called accessory to a crime. Now, accessory to a crime means that you witnessed the crime. You might not have not signed the document, but you witnessed the crime. So for those in the martial art world, they witnessed the crime. And I'm gonna get into it now. So many years ago, and this is why I say that there's a certain individual called Shihan Cruz or Shihan Johnny Cruz or whatever it is. We had a talk. It was back in May, and I remember I sent a text to you. I found my old cell phone, so we're going back to May. I don't know what year it was. So that May, I was in his car, and we had an idea. And he said, "Listen, I know you got your black belt from Appley Rangers and Grandmaster J, but they're not real black belts. You have to get a real black belt test." So he gave me a contract. I signed the contract. The contract I signed was for a brown belt. a high level brown and future black belt. That's how we was gonna do it.
Okay.
So we started training from May every. It was like about maybe between about. It was more than three training sessions. It was more than three because I remember I paid him like 5 times within those months that I was there. And I would go on Saturdays. I go on my day off. I go on my vacation. Where I'll go to White Plains, New York, and from there take an Uber ride to his dojo. He would take me back to the train station. So that exam, I have the screenshots, I have the proof of how the exam was supposed to be that day. And that Thursday, I said I didn't want a certain individual to be there, and I'm gonna keep saying I don't care. I didn't want the individual to be there because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I was not because I was fearful of him,
Right.
but because I didn't want him there. So when that happened, that Saturday, I show up. I'm getting ready. I work on my self defense. I got all my weapons. I got my baton. I'm on my bow, my commas, my side, everything ready for the exam because those were supposed to be for part of the exam. I had the kata down packed. I had everything in my head. So all of a sudden saying, say a speech. I say a speech, and he says, we're gonna do some self defense, whatever it is. So we go into the self defense. I'm thinking about I'm gonna do the self defense with everybody else. It didn't happen like that. They were doing self defense on me. So the whole exam started changing as we was going along.
Okay.
So then when we go into a particular movement, okay, the first individual did it when wait was okay, fine. Was I was fine with everything. So then what transpired was when we had dinner that same night with God rest her soul, Lady Ange, who came to my belt exam with her daughters, and when they started expressing themselves, what happened? My brother that was came from Puerto Rico was there. My mom looked at him and like, did you saw what happened to your brother? Why didn't you stop
Mm-hmm.
him? Why didn't you do it? And people started seeing the video and started telling me, yo, waking up the next morning with chest pains and everything was like, yo, dude. You know why? And I stood quiet. I did a video saying, hey, I passed my black belt test. I'm happy. Move forward. But that individual wanted to do what he wanted to do. Did he apologize? Like 8 months later, he did, but it was a lame ass apology. And then I just left it like that. You know, the individual will call me up and, you know, once you burn a bridge with me, the bridge is done.
That's
You
right.
know, and this individual, I helped a lot. I helped him a lot, and the Yeto doesn't recognize that. And then I got the video where he said that he did what he did on purpose, and he said he will see me at the tournament, will kick my behind, and he'll see me in the streets, he'll kick my behind. All certain things he was saying, I just stood quiet, and then when I start saying things, will come onto your show and address certain issues, and when I did the Roni 6-1, it was stood up a lawsuit. I'm like, dude, you can't afford
I
a
remember
Twinkie
that.
donor. You can't afford a Twinkie donor. And then let alone that whatever you have right now is because of that individual you're with. I know
Mm-hmm.
your story. You know what I'm saying.
That's true.
But admit to what he admit what he did. I have the video of that where he admit what he did. Said that I cried like a douchebag or bitch, whatever. So what? Say what you want to say, what happened. But then that means as a martial arts, you're not showing compassion. You're not showing. And then you have other individuals that just who just coming up there, and these are people I supported, like that I supported, and it's just crazy. Like all these years I supported them by going to their events, going to the tournaments, sweating and working hard and training hard, and it was like like people were saying, "Oh, you're gonna go to King of New York, or you're gonna go to K Talks, or you're gonna go to the Jungle Gym tournament, or whatever it is." It was like, it's like I don't feel like going like with jiu-jitsu tournaments. I've been to a couple of them already. I already got my medals, my awards. Will I do another one? I don't know, you know. But it just says that it happens, and it's not just happens to me. It happens to everybody in the martial arts. But because you're not doing what they want you to do, because you're not a part of that political clique, connection, crew, blood, grip, what do you want to call it? It's a mafia also. It's like a whole mafia, but like that. And it just sad. It just says that we can't train together. We can't move forward in life because I did it took me 18 years to get my rank. Well, then what did you do between those 18 years to not get your rank? Why would you stuck for 18 years? You know,
Mm-hmm.
one thing Dr. Smith always told me was never stay stuck, always move forward. And this comes from somebody that people don't understand Dr. Smith. Me talk about Dr. Smith. This man lived in Japan, trained in Japan, studied judo, studied goju, studied a lot of stuff in the martial arts, and just wants to stay sharp. So, you know, that he said it multiple times in his classes as well. You know, and that's and how can you, and that's the thing for me, it's been so hard for me to heal, to even go to tournaments, even to go to events. Like I was at a tournament recently, a couple months ago. And it's like I see one of the individuals that I just don't get along with looking at me like he want to kill me,
Oh my
and it's like you just looked at me with them eyes, and I'm like, like it's like, Joe, what the hell, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and I said, and even certain individuals, like I'll give you example, Seafood Cliff. He blasted me on Facebook, and I saw him in real life recently, and he didn't say that word to me. I haven't caught,
God.
and then when he did it, I called him on his phone. I said,
Right.
"Yo, what's going on? Me, and you, we used to have good connections. What's going on?" And I seen him in January, and I saw him again recently when I was at the last event. I had a pastor that, you know, he used to bash other people, and then I'm like, "How your pastor bashing people? Do you want to bash me?" And I call you on your phone like, "Hey, what's up? This is CJ. Let's have a conversation like we used to have before."
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I contact individuals. I reach out to individuals. But now how I do things now is that if I find the person that did it, I'll state my statement to them, and I just block them.
God.
That's the next thing I do now. Now I just block them. I just block them, and like people say, if you go to these tournaments, you go to these places, just be prepared. And I said I'm prepared. I'm always prepared for a fight. And I may come out losing. I tell people one thing about me: win or lose or draw, I still win the fight because I came up there ready for a fight. And then and my thing is like, as martial arts, why are we taking it to that level? Why are you putting people's personal business out there? So my, oh, I know where he lives at. He lives with his mama or whatever it is. I'm like, dude, you live with your mama your whole life, bro. You
Oh,
know,
mic drop.
you live with no, and then you talk about you survived the Bronx. Well, Bronx you survived because you did an interview where you said your mom and dad put you in karate because they didn't want to raise a pendejo. We raise somebody
Oh,
that's soft. You know what I'm saying? I've seen the interview. I've
that's
seen the interview. I survived. I mean, if you hear if people would really want to know my story, I survived the Vietnam of the Bronx. I'm sorry to put it like that.
oh. Go ahead.
You know, if I lived my area I lived in. Well, yes, it was a bubble. It was a bubble. But when you went outside the Bronx, my man, please, you couldn't survive Hunts Point set up if your life depended on you.
Ooh, and
And
I
that's
just no, sorry. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. No, no, it's okay. And I just feel like I needed you to talk this about this because you've been holding this for a while, and this been going on for a long time.
It's
And
five. It's like what, 5 years? It's like
yeah,
5 years, and like you can't see a man progress in the martial arts because of what he wants to do in life. And then when you start talking about it, like, oh, he's a crybaby, but it's not about crybaby. It's about expressing yourself to other individuals to see, because there are other martial arts that go out there and go there. Like, I had one, you know, it was like I had one individual put me on blast recently, a couple
mm,
months ago, and when he put me on blast, I was like, "What? Like you just put me out there? Like, oh, I kicked this person out the organization for some reason. Then you come up with an excuse. Well, because you didn't give me your paperwork. What paperwork? What paperwork I have to give you? Did you contact me? But then you want to put my name out there, and then so everybody can see that you. So if you want me part of your organization, fine. It's like I found another organization that recognized me and they honored me for what I do, and they see how I am. Poland sees how I am. India sees how I do it. Germany. You want to be a part of an organization that was created in 2009 or whatever it is, and I
mm,
found organizations that have been around for 30 years plus years, and I'm grateful to God I'm grateful to God for them to open the door for me. I'm not being cocky or arrogant. It's just being that I'm blessed that other people decide to open the door for me to let me express myself. And because Grandmaster Anthony has been that person, that has helped me get there, and he has helped other individuals. And before he had his injury, before he had the injury, he was a grandmaster before he had the injury. The
Wow.
man died twice on the battlefield, and
Hmm.
you still want to knock the brother? Come on.
This is crazy. I just feel like this is me weird saying it, but I feel like you should be a really strong advocate against bullies and people that trying to take us, to the extent of their titles and try to like belittle people that are just trying to push themselves and try to encourage other people along the way. And I think you should really focus besides what you're doing now. That's great. But I think this is going to be ongoing on for years. And if you went through this as being a victim of being a crime, as you mentioned, not the crime, the other one, cyberbully,
Yeah.
and still going through this, I think now it's time that now you make advocacy. Maybe you make a program for the youth, so you could show them you're a prime example of what you went through, but you didn't let it stop you. Because it does take a toll on mental health, and this is something that should really be focused on in the martial arts industry. This has been going on for too long, and God
Yeah.
knows how many other people have been affected by this.
And the thing is, like, you don't understand the individuals going through besides the outside world. Like, I deal with stresses every day at work. Being in law enforcement is a stressful job. No matter what people want to label my job, it's a stressful job. And I really give up to what you're saying, because I always been talking about this for years. Even that's why Ronnie 61 came out, was because I got tired of the bullshit. Excuse my language.
No,
It
it's not
was
good.
the bullshit of it, that because I did it your way. Y'all say this is what you want me to do. I follow what you want me to do to a T. You
Hmm.
said I had to go through a black belt exam. Even Kaiso Rug, that was in Puerto Rico, he said it. You put him through a basically a beat down to get the rank, and he got his rank. Not only did he got one rank, I walked away with two ranks. And people understand this. When I walked away from that day, I walked away with four black belts. I had
Wow.
two prior that was F-certified. And what was crazy was that Shihan Cruz, I went to a black belt exam of his a couple of years before that, and he gave me a certificate of a black belt from him. I have a picture of it, but I never took it. So when I went back with him, it was like, so when I left that day in particular, I left with four black belts. And what's really sad is, and what breaks my heart really, was that, now I might it gets out there, but it's out there already. Was on my birthday, how my brother, we don't come from the same mom, but different dad, was saying how I betrayed the family on my birthday. And it was like, here I am trying to follow your footsteps and try to make my own legacy, and you come out and say something like that. You don't, that's why they're like, oh, well, the belt you have is a Kyoshi belt. It's like, then when you do research on belts of the history, it's like, there's no Kyoshi, right? There's nothing. Then you got other individuals, like the same individual, the same individual I'm talking about,
Mhm.
you jump into a system and get an automatic fifth dan. You jump into Goju karate, don't know nothing about Goju, never knew Goju, never knew anything about Goju, jump right into Goju after your grandmaster gave you a ninth dan in your system
Mm.
and handed you the keys to your system, and you want to go ahead and just say, well, I want to do things right again. So that means that whole time you've been an active martial artist, you've been lying to the people, you've been stealing people's money because you created an organization that was supposed to help people out, and you just stopped doing it.
Yeah.
What happened to that? It's and that's what happens, and when you start mentioning things like this, and you're like, oh, you bad. No, I'm not bashing nobody. I never come bash nobody. I come in to talk my experience, strength, and hope. And some individuals out there don't understand that. Because why? Because they are brainwashed by these certain individuals, because they're scared to say something. They're scared to stand up. And me, I'm the type of person as a martial artist, and I've always been an independent martial artist. When I went to tournaments, Yeah, I had a patch on my logo that said Roishi Goju, or it says Johnny's Karate, whatever it was. I was still there by myself,
Wow.
and I always did phenomenal. You know, and then you want to talk about where I was in the rankings. You understand my system, because my system where I was blue, buff, then green. It wasn't like most systems where it was green then blue. Some systems go from white, yellow, green, purple, brown, then black. Some systems don't have the full solid name. And what I like about my friend Mike, who I talk about a lot, Mike of All Island Martial Arts,
Hmm.
he created a Taekwondo system, and he created all the katas himself,
Wow.
created his own belt system, and he just does what he has to do. He don't care about what people say in the outside world, and he's showing me that way as well, how not to care about what people say, and that's how I am now. It's like you know what more you can say about me? You know, like when I got my blue belt in jujitsu, they were like, "Oh, he got his blue belt from a purple belt." And then when I got when I got my third dan from my friend, they're like, they didn't know which way to come at me. They didn't know which way to come. They didn't know which way to attack. You know, then you had certain individuals contact that person that gave my third dan. Contact him. Why are you contacting the man for? Oh,
Mm-mm.
so you don't promote CJ or you don't promote this person? So what?
That's
That's
crazy.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That goes on, and that goes on in the martial arts. That's why certain martial artists are scared to go outside the box. I think Daniel Santos, who's was Bruce Lee's right hand man, said that if your teacher allows you to go outside of your dojo, go out there outside your dojo. But if not, then you continue to be brainwashed. And that's how I
Mm.
always been. I always been that person as a martial artist. I was blessed to go to. I just went on my own. I want to learn Kali, learn Kali. I want to learn Krav Maga, learn Krav Maga. If I want to learn certain things, I just went on my own because why? Because I go back again to what Dr. Smith always told me was, always go outside the box, research. Stay
Yeah.
on your toes, stay where, never stay stuck,
Exactly.
never stay stuck. And that's what it is. If you have individuals, it's great that you loyal to your one master. But then why is that you've been with that person for 20 years and hasn't promote you, or 18 or 15 years promote you? But then
Mm.
you get upset because somebody like me comes in and then you don't even know my story, don't know my history, don't know where I've been. Oh yeah, you see me in tournaments, you see me here, you see me there. Sit down and talk with me. Sit there and say, hey CJ, how did this happen? Because I learned from somebody. I
Exactly.
learned how to maneuver all this from somebody. And that's the same individual that's throwing the stones at me.
Mm-mm.
I sat there in his house and he showed me every certificate he got mailed to his house, got through his house, and then but now because he wants to be legit, because he got somebody in Timbuktu, out there and lying too. Let me read their profile. I've been labeled everything. I've been labeled by my own brothers. I have a mental retardation. I'm retarded. I'm slow. I'm stupid. You
Wow.
know, and that's why I've been dealing with the martial arts as well. The labeling. And it hurts. It hurts a lot. But
I know.
you like you said, how do you heal? How you move forward?
Yeah. Definitely. I I just have to add a little something to that. I think
Yeah.
um, like I said, I seen your growth as a friend, and I know you for years, and I seen how whatever's thrown at you, you just keep being persistent. And I'm gonna give you an applause for that again,
Thank you.
because you're welcome. Because I've gone through what you've gone through, and I won't say too much because this another time we'll talk about that,
Yeah.
about your childhood, what you've gone through in childhood and everything else, and how martial arts kind of like saved your life in a sense, and how G we call him G Dog or G Smith,
Yeah.
he's pretty much been like your father role model for a very long time, and in a sense how
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like
Yeah.
what you went through, I commend you because it takes a lot. And it's sad, it's true, even in your own family, they're the first ones to throw stones at you. But don't let that stop you. Like, use
Yeah.
that as motivation, exactly. Motivation to continue and show them, you want me to be the black sheep of the family? Now I'm gonna show you how black I could really get. And I'm gonna show
Absolutely.
you Exactly. And I'm going to show you, and use that as motivation for yourself and for your family, your daughter, those that care about you, that keep pushing, because down the line you never know whose life you're saving when those are throwing stuff at you, and at one side you're looking at one way, but if you look at a different whole clear way looking at it, you're pushing yourself and pushing other people that on the low are watching you and applauding you, are like, wow, he's doing it and he's going through all these obstacles and he's still managing. So again, I commend you on my end here on Healing Your
Thanks.
Soul Sunday Show. You're
Yeah.
welcome, because it
No,
takes time.
that's and then the things I always say it's a blessing to you because
Well,
we've been doing this for years and you always give me that platform where I can come here and say what I gotta say. Him, you and Jeffrey Smith. When I go to G Dog's class, a lot of my childhood is spoken in there. I do it. It's a whole hour where I go into and I show the videos of if you seen how the South Bronx was back in the days, and
mm,
and for those that know what I'm talking about, those that probably watch the show know how the South Bronx was. I was raised around that type of environment, and just to come up and like you said, that fighting spirit is because of how I was. When you have people saying you can't do certain things, never tell me that. That's one thing that I really, that really, like, it's like that rocket fuel they call it.
yes.
Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I will go to the end of the earth and try to prove your case. That, it's like like, I will try to prove what you're saying wrong. And I spent what's $80 on this one particular book, and I'm still reading it. And it's like, man, it's like the history that is portrayed,
Mm,
the history that's portrayed in martial arts. It's just sad. It's
it
just
is.
sad because they not telling the truth. They give you a 10% or maybe 20% of the truth. And, because I heard it from this individual's mouth. He said it on one of his pages where he said, "Hey, sometimes all these teachers will not give you the knowledge. They'll say something to you, and then when you get older, like, yeah, I just made that up." You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it's as martial artists and as anything you do in life, the medical field, law enforcement, whatever it is, you gotta do your research, and then there will be, like you said, I know you dealt with it before. You should not do this podcast. You should not do this. This ain't gonna go nowhere. But yet, though, you've given like a beacon for those to come to the show and to talk. You know what I mean? And like I said, I could go to anybody's podcast, and say what I gotta say. But this is a spot where you, as a Latina, as a woman, as a single mom,
Yes.
doing what you gotta do, and no matter what, try to help everybody heal in one. And how can we heal in one? And then, like I said, exposing what's going on, and it's the truth. It's what goes on in the martial art world. It's disgusting, and it's the truth. The cyberbullying, the because somebody's not doing it your way, or whatever it is, and when you actually tell them the history of it, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They going based on, oh well, this guy said this. Okay, fine. You know.
It's unfortunate, but I guess I commend you for your strength and your courage to continue on this fight. And like I said, I see you continue on being an advocate, not for only yourself, for other people that are probably a long time is suffering through the situation. And just continue doing that. Keep talking. Keep speaking up, because down the line you're gonna have people that's still gonna talk either way. But as long as you keep opening those doors for yourself and for others that are maybe gonna one day come to you say, "Listen, thank you for finally speaking up for us," because down the line you never know, that it could have saved their life. So definitely that. So let's change the mood up a little
Yeah,
bit.
cool. No problem.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So let's change up a little bit of mood. So you said you've been, yeah. What upcoming things you got coming up besides the photo shoot you mentioned? What other things you got coming up?
I got that. I have the next month. I'll be 5 years with one particular organization. With the Eastern Martial Arts Association. So I'll be doing that Pittsburgh next month, November 11th, 12th, and 13th, and then I'm supposed to be taking a training class. I'm going to take a seminar on the Filipino arts.
Hmm.
There's a group that I've been friends with for a while called the Nomads. They have
Oh,
a martial arts school. I think it's in White Plains, New York, somewhere.
okay.
So they have something going on November 5th and 6th.
Nice.
So it's supposed to be like a whole Kali stick training class. It's an all 2 days of nonstop training on the Kali sticks, which is the Filipino art of stick fighting.
Nice.
So I've been doing Kali for a while with different seminars and come up with my own drills and stuff. So to go up there and learn something, also learn more knife defensive because I have a basic knife, but I want to get better at that. Then start working on so I got the laptop now. So I started working on hopefully with the USA International Martial Arts Association. They have a PhD program on philosophy and martial arts.
Nice.
So starting next year, I was supposed to do it this year, but I'm gonna start next year, like you said, on a thesis paper. So you have to do a 30-page thesis paper.
Mm.
So since I got this one book, it's gonna be part of the thesis as well, and work on that, and Katie is going for a green belt, like I said before.
Yay.
Yeah, yeah. So she's been a yellow belt for 2 years because of the pandemic and stuff, and we couldn't really get things the way we wanted to get things done. And I didn't want to stress her out because of the school, with the pandemic and school and stuff like that. So now, so she got the katas down pat, and then after that, I don't have tips. I do tips sometimes, but after that, it's just blue, purple, brown. The brown is where I change things up in my system. So
Nice.
it's a whole different type of brown. So what it is basically, the brown is the top is brown, the bottom is black. So when you get the belt, you wear the brown up, and then when after 6 months or when I tell you to flip the belt over, so when you flip the belt over to the black, then now you're getting ready for your black belt.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's actually telling the students. I caught the idea of a TikTok page where I
Yeah.
think they do the kabuto weapon, which is the martial art weapon style, and that they do that as well. But they do it different. They have like three different browns: the solid brown, the brown with the line, and then they do the brown on top and black on bottom, and they flip it. So I said instead of eliminate those two browns, keep it one brown, and it makes it more simpler and more easier for the students. So when they flip it over to black, now they know in their head, I'm getting ready for my black belt.
Exactly.
You know,
Awesome.
and
Awesome.
that's all the projects right now. Just keep building my system and foundation,
Awesome.
everything else up.
No, so I do want to add also to this because the people that are kind of like new to the karate or as I said the martial arts, first you said you have your own you're being how you call it, what's that word I'm using, you have a dojo, I believe, right? You have a place where you teaching other people now as an instructor and stuff, and also tell the viewers that are watching now if those don't know about the belts, the like how the levels like from the beginner to and like I know the black belts like the like
But
the
yeah,
big, so
so how it is, it depends on what system or style you teach or learning from, right? So let's go to a basic style would have from white to brown, right? You have your white, yellow, orange, green, blue, purple, and brown, right? So from white, depends on the system, right? So from white, yellow, and orange, that'll be your beginning belts.
okay.
Then your green and blue is intermediate, and then your advanced belt, we call advanced belts, is your purple, brown, and black. Now it depends on some systems. Like my friend's system is different. Like his system is a taekwondo system. But between some of those systems, those belts, you may have a yellow, then you may have a gold belt, then you may have a red belt in your system, then you may have also what's called a camouflage belt.
Ooh.
Some system has what's called a Punsei belt. In Taekwondo, Punsei meaning that it's a red and black belt. When you get that belt, that means now you're gonna go into a black belt. It depends on what system or style you study, and the belt, like the actual belt, didn't actually start to like the original belt was a sash, and it was back in 1918 when Hagano took the
Oh.
kung fu sash. He actually took the sash from kung fu, and then it went from being a sash to being a cotton belt, a simple cotton belt. And the original rank was white and black, and then they came up with a brown belt. And then what happened was, while the karate was being built or being established around that time, there was some man named Funakoshi who he had a son, and his son would go a lot to France, and he would learn about. It was called the actual word called baptizo, and what
Hmm.
baptizo means that you are transitioning clothes. It was come from the Greek. That's where the word baptism actually comes from, of the
Yeah.
dipping of the clothes and coming out. So that's how the belt system actually started. It actually
Hmm.
started with a cotton belt being dipped in whatever color it was that was cheap at that time, whether it be green, white, brown, whatever it was, and they would dip the cotton belt in there and it would come out. That's why all the belts came out different colors after a while. Some belts would come out black, red, and white. And they were like, oh, that's a, you know what? He's 30, 40 years. He's considered himself a Ranchi. We know that Ranchi actually was called Seren Show, and a lot of that was going on at the time. The titles and all that titles came out, around the time when karate was being developed as well. The original titles Kyoshi, Hanshi, and then Siren Show actually changed from Siren Show into the Renshi because they wanted to transition from karate. Actually, was influenced from the Chinese, and then
Hmm.
when Okinawa was taken over from the Japanese, it had a transition from Chinese to Okinawa to Japan. Sorry, from Japan. So when China lost the occupation of Okinawa, when the Chinese lost the occupation to Okinawa, the Japanese took over it. It was a transition period. So that's why a lot of the material that we have in the martial arts, A, was either lost in 1944 during World War II with the bombings of
Wow.
Okinawa, where a lot of information was lost, or some of the information has never been passed down because the Chinese did not want to pass down information. Some Okinawans were willing to pass down information. Some were told not to pass information down because they didn't trust the Americans, they didn't trust the Europeans coming in there. So they were
Hmm.
very. Some was very secretive of the information, and you know, one book I tell a lot of people to buy was this one right here. Even though it's a Goju book,
Okay.
but this actually has. You can find this on Amazon. It's $80.
Okay.
It's a lot of dry material in here, but a lot of the history of martial arts is in here. Over to 2021.
Oh
This was
wow.
published and made. So this is in a chronological order. Like you could find stuff like Taekwondo information, the Shotokan history. It's telling the history of Goju, but it's also in it. It's like you go on a journey where you learn about how the spread of karate was, who spread it. Like you ask anybody, what was the four main areas where karate or martial arts was you know being influenced or being shown, or where did they move around? And a lot of people don't know. And like you had Brazil was one of them. A
Mm.
small
Yes.
area of Brazil was one of them. You had Hawaii, which was a major influence, and then you had California. So you have those are like the main Brazil. Then you had you could also France. France was
Mm.
another place where because there was a style called Savate or Savate, where a lot of the kicks, punches I mean, I'm sorry, a lot of the kicks came from. Kicks came from Savate. Martial arts is a mixture of different. Like I hate using the word mixed martial arts because that's a lazy term.
Okay.
But martial arts is like a sazon or sopa. Like you have your noodles.
Oh yeah.
So that's what karate. Because karate was underneath judo.
Okay.
It was underneath judo before it became by itself in 1936. So underneath judo, karate was underneath judo. That's why a lot of the katas, the original katas, or the movements have judo parts in them,
Makes
hidden
sense.
in them, so nobody sees them. So that's where a lot of that stuff comes from. So that's where the belt system comes from. Like people say, or it came from swimming, or it came from here. No, if you read it in the book that says 1918, Nagano started wearing what's called a black sash, and the
Mm.
black sash was for him, and he gave the black sash to a lot of his students so they could show who's the head teacher in the class.
Oh,
And the actual the uniform of karate came from was a firefighter's uniform at the time.
wow.
So
I
that comes from that book right there. Is like I'm still reading it. I think
okay.
I'm up to like year. I think I'm to the present year now. but it takes time to read it because you have to sit there and take notes and learn about like it was like the 70s when they first started allowing women to get rank, and then the 70s was also a time when Dans came around. You know, they weren't allowing women to compete. They get like actual rank and titles. They'll get black belts. I mean, judo was the only one that you seen females that got ranked, high ranked, but they never had a title until like later on and years later down the line, they started getting titles. You know, they started getting ranked the ranked titles, which was like the Kyoshis, the Hanshis, and then the Ranchis and stuff like that. But the belts never. I've read that, and I have not seen where the belt matches the title. That's where is I'm trying to figure out where did that come about because I know the founding father of judo created the red and white panel belt to give to the students that were higher up, like eighth, ninth dan. Then it went down to being sixth and seventh dan, and then the fifth dan came with the Renshi belt, which they call the Renshi, but it's not the Renshi belt because some systems they'll give that belt out at third dan, fourth dan, fifth dan. I've seen the red and white panel belt in some Tang Sudo, which is another Korean art. They give the red and white panel belt as a grandmaster belt.
Oh man, I'm learning a lot today in this show. This I'm learning because I knew a certain amount of things about my son and you was in
Yeah,
the at that time in the academy and learning about certain things, and I was learning a little bit but not too much. But it's so great to like learn, like you say, from what you gathered from books and from your own experience, and see like this is very informative. So that's a good thing.
yeah, and that's the thing that you have certain people that there's certain people out there that amongst that circle that I was a part of, they will give you some history, but the history again is from somebody that may give it to you, but
Mm,
not giving you the information like, oh, Connors came from war, Connors came from here. You know, they're giving information, but is the information truthful? Or you
exactly.
and what happens is that people will believe somebody either because of life experiences or because they live in that certain area.
Mm,
Or because they live in that area, you have to believe them. They're the ones that are enlightened, or because they were a part of that person's school, you know, and not understanding that when you look into their syllabus, they have bits and pieces of certain styles. They, you know, but they're more geared towards like an Okinawan karate system, not like a Goju system. You know what I'm saying? Because Goju has a blueprint, and I know the blueprint. I found it in that book. That book has two type of blueprints. There's two different systems that have an actual blueprint when it was actually set forth.
oh wow.
You know, there was a syllabus. There's an actual hardcore syllabus
Mm-hmm.
that's supposed to be followed. Like originally, Goju only had it was originally only seven katas. It was four
Mm-hmm.
into seven, so the seven original katas. Where did the 12 come into play? They added the 12. They added other katas to it. You added Cypher, then you added Sanchin, then you added the Tenshon. And certain other katas were added to it. But what was the last kata? And I know the last kata, which was Super Impi. So
Oh
I've
wow.
learned Super Impi, I learned Kurufta, I love Seisan, I learned Sayuchin. I learned that. But then those katas, they put the belts with those katas. So they put katas with belts in it, and that's how the Western world basically. The
Yeah.
Western world is where they've started putting a lot of the belt to katas. When you go overseas, if you're a third degree belt or higher, if you're a third degree belt, I mean in Germany,
Mhm.
in Greece, and other places I know, if you're a third degree, you're considered a master.
Wow.
They consider you a master. They say, well, third degree, you're a master. Your fourth degree, you're a master. And I've been called that overseas a lot. And I'm like, nah, I'm just a regular old CJ from the Boogie Down Bronx. But that but that's the respect that they have for me. They consider me a master over there. Like, oh, you third degree. And I shown every kata in the book to these guys.
Wow.
I've showed them Okinawa Kempo kata from June. I showed them my Sayuchin kata. I showed them Super Impi. I showed them the Kurufta. And I'm winning second, third, first place in these places. Just because you gotta show your video.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? And it
Like
was crazy is that because social media now and because of video and stuff like that, I was doing this stuff beforehand. Before the pandemic, before I was learning on Google video. Skype and all this. This
Wow.
is new to people. I've been doing this way before people was before the pandemic was hitting. So I learned a whole side kata when I was an underbelt. So
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, I'm learning a lot today. Got me into absorbing all this information.
yeah,
Yeah. But any shout outs you have for anybody watching right now?
I just like I said, Anthony's Worldwide Martial Arts AOBK, which this is their patch right here. I wear their patch. I wear their patch with pride as well. Shout out to them. They know who they are. AOBK for life, like we say all the time. AOBK stands for Aaron Okami Bushido Koskuski, and that's was my grandmaster A Train. If people don't know, his system is in the catalog in Japan. Was in
Wow.
the system in Japan. So whoever falls underneath his system, like mine, since I'm a part of Anthony's Worldwide Martial Arts, my system is also in the catalog as well. So whoever falls underneath his system, their names are in that catalog as well. He has family that lives in Japan that helped him do a lot of that stuff.
That's amazing.
So yeah, so Wazir, everybody, everybody know, you know, you know, what goes on. They who influenced me, and a good friend named Bishop. I just became friends with as well. You know, and my daughter as well. But it's
Uh,
just yeah, it's just like I said before. It's just trying to I don't come here to bash nobody. I come here to speak
yes.
about. I always say this all the time too. And when we did these things, it always turns out to find one individual that wants to turn it and twist what I say into something else. And I always come here and say, I am a humble servant. I come here with civility, respect, honor, and humbleness and integrity.
Mm,
And I live by that all the time. I don't disrespect nobody. I don't talk about nobody. I don't. I never did. Just that these people come out fishing,
yes.
you
Yes.
know.
But it's good, like I said, you clear your name, you clear who you are, you let people know it's just you're saying your side of the story and you're being truthful.
That's
Before you already know. You already know.
yeah, we know how it is.
Yeah. But let the world know where they could find you on social media.
So basically, social media right now, I got Facebook, CJ The Terror, on Facebook, Instagram. I think it's CJ61. I think it is. I keep switching my Instagram around sometimes.
All
Um,
right.
I took the name on TikTok C Train 61. So we got A Train. So I said, you know what? I gotta call myself C Train. So C Train
That's what's
61 on TikTok. I post a lot of positive videos on there. I forgot what my Twitter account. I think it's CJ Vero on Twitter. I try to be out there as much as I can, and you know, you know, post. I very, most of my pictures of I turn the comment off because, like you said before, I just don't like want to hear these negative comments. What people
mm,
have to say certain things because,
mm.
it gets ugly.
Yeah,
It gets
definitely,
real ugly sometimes.
definitely,
You know.
definitely. But I just want to thank you again for coming on the show and educating us, and things that, people are going to tune in and watch this later on and enjoy this.
Yeah,
And
that's
before,
that's yeah. Mm.
no, no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. Let's
Yeah.
just see a quick few people that commented. Sari spoke a lot here. Hello, Sari. What's up, sister? Knowledge is power. Oh, I see something there. Okay, that's what's up. She said reading devotional book is healing, also the Bible too. Dancing is healing. She says, I have God to turn to healing. And then she's talking about music. Oh my. And then she's also an alumni of Monroe as well. Salute, salute. And yeah, just much love.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So if people want to know, I am the real Kung Fu Panda. I got a Kung Fu stick now.
Oh, no!
Nah, I got this a couple years ago. That's my buddy. with a friend. It says and then in Chinese, I wrote it down somewhere. What is it in Chinese again? I wrote it somewhere right here. Oh, it says to anticipate the attack and react first. That's what it says on this little thing here. So that's my little Kung Fu Panda stick.
Oh, and also we in the Bronx. You're in the Bronx, so if somebody want to fuck
Yeah,
with you, you use that, as defense.
yeah, yeah. I got other things I carry in my pockets. But
Got you,
I, I
got
always, I always tell people I got 8 weapons. My elbows, knees, and feet. Fear those more than anything else.
you.
You know,
Oh yeah,
and I mind my business when I'm on the train. So it's like
yeah,
I don't get involved in this train stuff anymore.
that's right.
If you're on the trains, guys, just don't have your headphones, cell phones out. Just be mindful what goes on in your surroundings. It's getting back to the '80s, man. I survived the '80s. I know how it is.
Yeah, it's getting bad out.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely, definitely. But again, CJ, thank you so much for coming on the show. We
definitely,
appreciate
guys.
you, and
Definitely,
just many blessings ahead for you, and just stay focused and stay positive.
definitely.
Definitely. So we'll have you on sometime soon. We'll touch base. You know how we do.
Well, we always do. We always touch
Yes.
base. You know how we are. We find somewhere to find. We find each other somewhere down the road, the yellow brick road. Call it
Yeah,
yellow brick road to say.
something like that.
Yeah,
Also, you're on October issue as well for the Vero G Spotlight magazine.
yeah.
So
Get that
guys,
issue, guys. And like I said, that's another
yeah,
issue that you guys can come out and see some of what I wrote. I keep a little speech in there as well.
definitely, definitely.
You know.
All right, CJ. Well, thank you again, and we'll have you sometime soon. We will keep talking and have a good. You know how we do so.
Yep. Peace and blessings. Peace out,
Definitely.
everybody.
All right. Salute. Yes.
Salute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Bye. Bye. All right, guys, that was amazing interview. That was an exclusive interview actually, with SOKE CJ The Terror. It was sometimes we have to just dig deep in ourselves and know that we are here for a reason, people. And that's why I love this show. And I have to get another drink. I'm gonna get my water drink because I forgot to mention. We just passed the 1 year mark of the show, which was we didn't really celebrate it because everybody was like going through stuff. But here, salute of you guys can see the glass here for the 1 year anniversary of this show, Healing Your Soul Sunday show. So salute to everyone who's been watching the show, for all the guests who's made the grace of the show and what it is, and continue on healing others through this show, through their testimonies, their stories, and blessings along the way, and more to come. So thank you guys. Salute for that. Let me get my drink of water here. Mm, yeah, I did not see that. Thank God it's water, right? Okay. See, y'all don't believe me, right? So this is actually Poland spring water. Okay. They do not advertise this, unfortunately. I wish that was the case, huh? But besides that, again, you're watching Healing Your Soul Sunday show with your host Vero G. We got more things lined up for you guys. Again, thank you, CJ, SOKE CJ The Terror, for coming on the show and embracing us with your amazing story and things that we got a chance to learn about as well. So we're gonna take a little quick break. Actually, no, we're gonna jump into it now. The next thing, I always should go to current events, but your girl needs to use the bathroom, so I've been holding it for a little while. Sorry, guys, I had to. So we're gonna go to the Domestic Violence Awareness Month now, change it, and then we'll go into current events after that. As you guys know, domestic violence this month is very crucial. It needs to be more aware. We need to talk more about this besides this month on this matter, and I feel like it's very much needed to have an impact on all our lives. And those who may be going through it, you're not alone, because I am a domestic violence survivor myself, foreseeing a lot of things. And I say, you know what? If I'm here for reasons, just to continue on my mission, to continue helping as many people as possible. So with that, we're gonna have two stories. One is a story and one's a short film. I'm gonna play the short film first, about domestic violence, so you can see an eye opener of this. And the other one, I think it's pretty much, I think it's a short story or something. Yeah, it's a study on convicts who are domestic violence abusers, and they had a study, which I'm going to talk about that after that gets played on the Shia show. So we're going to play the first one, the short film. That short film is like over 20-some minutes. So that's a long one, but just stick around, watch it, and I'll play the other thing, and then we'll get into the discussion of this. You'll be right back watching Healing Your Soul Sunday Show with your girl, Vero G. Be right back.
You ready?
Yep.
And for the rest of my life, I don't want to be with anyone but you. What are you doing?
Until death do you part.
I do. Well, maybe I wouldn't have to worry about other guys looking at you if you didn't dress like a whore.
I just don't know what I would do if you were with anyone but me.
Where you been? Hey, you look at me when I'm talking to you. Do you hear me? Look, I didn't want to do that. But you just don't listen. Who's that?
Hey! You sure you're okay? I'm fine.
Who's gonna take you in but me? You will never see your son again. How about next time? I make sure you never leave the house again. Guess it's my lucky damn day. Look what I found under the bathroom sink.
Johnny, wait, just hold on!
YWCA hotline. How can I help you? Every day, 24,000 women are abused by someone they love. Just one phone call can help put a stop to it.
Every relationship I was ever in was abusive. I'm a recovering person, and I'm recovering from many, many things. One of them is domestic violence.
Jackie regularly comes here to San Bruno Jail to confront perpetrators of domestic violence face-to-face. She works with Resolve to Stop the Violence, the first program in the country to work with incarcerated men to confront their history of domestic abuse through restorative justice.
One of the things that I'm stricken by is I look around and I see an absolute melting pot. And I can't think of an issue that is more transcending in cultures than domestic violence.
The first step usually was the verbal coercion, the threat. Very quickly after, it would be a backhand or a slap. We call it chin checking, right? Just whap, whap. And it escalates from there.
Jimmy Espinoza spent much of his life abusing women before going through RSVP. He's now a facilitator for the program.
Once I can objectify a woman and then put a hand to her and gain that, see, I told you, then the ass whoopings would escalate, right, to full out beatings. I never questioned that I wasn't right.
Rehabilitation programs for abusers are controversial, particularly when they're proposed as an alternative to incarceration. We sat down with Lee Goodmark, a lawyer and professor who writes extensively about the case for decriminalizing domestic violence.
How effective is restorative justice? There are pockets of programs across the country that have tried to do this work, and some of them are doing amazing work around kind of the three central questions of restorative justice, right? What was the harm? What was the impact of that harm? And how do we hold this person accountable? What do they need to do to be able to make that harm whole?
We've heard so many horrific stories over the last several months. Some of these guys are monsters. Why advocate for them?
I don't see it as advocating for them. I see it as advocating for their partners. The criminal legal system is the primary policy vehicle that we've chosen to deal with domestic violence in the United States. And I just think that's not a realistic way to deal with this problem. It's not lowering rates of domestic violence. And in many cases, it actually exacerbates the factors that cause domestic violence in the first place.
How's that?
So for example, under and unemployed men are more likely to commit domestic violence. When you put someone through the criminal legal system, it's much more difficult to get a job. Similarly, trauma and violence are highly correlated with domestic violence. So we send you to a place that is violent, and then you go back into your community. And so I've come to believe that while we need the legal system as a backstop for those crimes that are so egregious that we need to have people kind of not among us, we're really failing to do any of the kind of preventative work we need to be doing to stop the violence before it starts.
I was subjected to just about every form of abuse by being in this marriage. There was always this level of emotional abuse where he would belittle me. He would remind me that I was nothing without him. And it might not seem so bad in one particular episode, but just imagine years and years and years and years of hearing that. What it did, the impact it had on my self-esteem and self-worth. I thought I couldn't do nothing on my own. Then there was the beat down. And this was a ritual. This was all consecutive. And after a while, I began to calculate it. I began to prepare myself for it.
When a survivor come in, they coming in to talk about what was done to them. And what we do, we process everything that happened to them and we point out what the perpetrator's done.
What I heard from Ms. Freeman was some verbal violence, which also connected with some emotional violence in her life.
Her first husband was saying, "You're nothing without me, you ain't got no money, or you don't pretty much exist." And she thought that, so she internalized it.
What is it like to sit in one of these chairs and hear a woman's story for the first time and put yourself into your partner's shoes?
I do remember the impact of it, and it was profound. Like I heard it, and it blew my mind because my victims weren't allowed to speak, especially about my violence.
Any of my victims personally, I never got to hear how they felt about anything that I've done to them. It's hard to be empathetic when outside in the streets, you know. But being in here with my head clear, it's like I'm starting to see that empathy is part of who I authentically am.
A 2005 study found that after 16 weeks in RSVP, recidivism in the first year of release dropped by more than 80%.
You know, we talked about domestic violence as a women's issue for such a long time. But if 85% of the victims are women, and the vast majority of them are in heterosexual relationships, this is not a women's issue, it's a men's issue. It's just short-sighted not to look at the person who's causing the problem to deal with the problem. And I think we'll really start to see now what the potential for restorative justice is.
Hey guys, welcome back. You're watching Healing Your Soul Sunday Show with your girl Vero G. I had to take a quick break. Thank God for that. But again, yes, like we just showed you 2 video clips. The first one, of course, was a short film showing the woman's point of view, the bird's eye view, as they call it, of her being with her abuser, and yeah, it's tough, you know. And the second one was this one we'll talk more about as well. This video is showed where they had done a study, and Vice was, of course, which is very well known journalist thing they have. They talk about different things: music, journalism, crimes, all that sorts and everything else. This talked about pretty much a study that with abusers who were, of course, locked up in jail, and where this is what I'm going to add into this in a minute, where pretty much they've gone to kind of rewire their system, if you know what I'm talking about, to kind of focus on their own issue, why they became an abuser, and how they could correct themselves to now, when they get out of jail, to kind of retrain their brain to not ever do that kind of similar behavior to any other women out there, or whatever partner they decide to be with, man or female. So the reason why I really focus on that video the most, besides the other one too, that's very important, is the fact that this is something that I really was touching base with the president, our current president, Joe Biden, and I personally written him a letter to the White House. Of course, lots of people written letters to the White House. Some get at least something back stating they got it. I never got to this day at least a confirmation. I got uh, my 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 letter was sent to them, so I'm still waiting for that one. But apparently, the thing I wanted to address, which is something that they did with that study, is where, I want a law that, pretty much, being a domestic violence survivor myself and encountering those situations, and luckily I got out. Not a lot of people can say that. There's still high cases of right now after COVID, and now still COVID, high cases of numbers where very much so women and men have been murdered by the hands of their loved ones. Um, and COVID didn't help much either, knowing that people had to be unfortunately forced to stay in. Yeah, this made it worse. So the cases were higher than ever. So back to my game plan with Joe Biden, the president of the United States. I read him a letter with him and or against the White House, they call it, and I stated I want a law to be in effect where, first two things: one, that we get as domestic violence victims, or I call survivors as they call it, we get better treatment, better resources that are available, and just the order protection is not good enough. I'm so sorry, people. If y'all know what I'm talking about, the law system really sucks when it comes to protecting women or men who are being endangered or are being in danger. We could correct that, of this situation. Um, like I said again, people, I cannot stress this enough. We need more than just order protection. We need something that's going to be sufficient, that is going to find a way that our abuser will not find us or kill us. Okay. And then another one I wanted to throw in there, which when they did that study, is the abusers. Is for them to psychologically go and get rewired. That's the word I was trying to find. I think I said earlier, and to get them to figure out why they are that kind of mindset, abusing women or men, and to see how they could try to probably get treated or cured. If you know what I'm talking about, it won't be overnight success. Trust me. But I think what they went through, childhood trauma or whatever the case may be, therapy is a start. Different kind of programs should be enforced with the abusers, so they should never do this again to any women or whatever case may be, who they want to be with. You know, and also for the us as being a domestic violence survivors. Okay, we need better treatment. Okay, stop with the order protections. They don't do shit. They're only valid if the cop is there, okay? If the cop is not present, if your abuser comes into your apartment, and by the time you call 911, they will not be coming for him, they'll be coming for you, okay? If you know what I'm talking about. So, again, we'll talk more about this other videos I'll put up next week or so of different scenarios of domestic violence. So, people should know this is something not just a joke. This is called a silent killer for a reason. People, wake the fuck up. I told you I'm gonna get that shirt, and I will get it in due time when my finances are better in place. But trust and believe, I will be getting that for this show. When it'll be stay awoke or whatever case, something that what I mentioned a couple of months ago on the show, I forgot. But anyway, wake the fuck up, people. This is real shit's happening in our own lives. And talking about domestic violence, we're gonna get right into current events, because it's something that I felt was really needs to add to the show. Okay, people. So let's get now to current events. Again, guys, if you'd like to share, comment, all that, please do on the show. If you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, whatever case may be, I appreciate the support, guys. Thank you. All right, so we're going into current events right now, and usually I get right into this, like literally get right into this, right? So let's get right into it. The first thing I want to really talking about domestic violence, is this right now. I'm gonna skip the first one. Let me just get right into this one. So if you haven't had a chance to, Lifetime did a their own version of the Gabby Petito story, right? We all know what happened. Her, of course, fiance, Brian Laundrie, unfortunately had killed her. He felt it was another way saying get rid of her, or say as a sympathy way to kill her, right? So let's get right into it, people, okay? Because this is something I really need to talk about. So I'm gonna give my review on this. That's what I'm bringing this attention to this, because this is not only this case; it's numerous cases just like this. The reason why I just got more of a spotlight, and I'm gonna be keeping 110% with you guys, um, because the fact that you know she was a beautiful spirit, and it's just unfortunate, I don't want to bring the race card involved, but I have to. It's like, okay, can we get that same attention to our Latino community, to our African American community, or the minority community? When our sisters or brothers are being killed by a loved one, where's that same kind of attention, media attention we need, right? So we may get like a few minutes in the news, and then okay, next thing. So I feel like it's only right that okay, it's unfortunate her situation, because we're gonna talk about it in a minute. But again, this is just something, throwing it out there to the universe. You gotta have the same energy. Please use that for everyone, not just one race. I just have to say it, okay? All right, so let's get a review on this Lifetime movie they did on Gabby Petito. So I watched from the very beginning to the very end. There were some things I didn't know about. If you haven't watched it, don't watch this because it'll be a spoiler alert, okay? So in the very beginning, they kind of show her, kind of like, they're trying to show her personality, spunky, she's about just nature and all this sorts, right? And she meets this creep. That's what I'm gonna call him. I guess it was like a family event or something, or it was like an outdoor event. I don't know. It was something of that nature, where she met him, and pretty much they got along. They hit it off, and the rest is history. And then it shows in between the stages of the phases of what she's gone through in the beginning of his domestic violence patterns, I call it, to show to the very end. And the signs were there. Ladies and gentlemen, please watch this Lifetime movie. I'm going to give them a big fucking applause. I give them a 5 stars. You know why? I'm going to just tell you. Thora Birch is a phenomenal actress. She played the mother of Gabby Petito. And I'm going to give her another applause, okay, for directing. She directed this film, okay, this movie. She did a phenomenal job showing what people in the media didn't see, or myself, where apparently Gabby Petito, who she is a beautiful kindred spirit, just wanted to live her life, wanted to just try and do different things and that sorts, got with the wrong man. And he first showed her, of course, and this happens to many situations and relationships, the man or the woman, because we both, depending which party you're in, will show you first the side they want to bring you in. If you know what I'm talking about, the sweet side. They want to spoil you. They want to take care of you. All the things that we are entitled to feel, right? So down the line, they show that in the beginning of this movie. Down the line, they started seeing him being now possessive, where they moved to Florida, I think, because of his family moved there. He was before they moved to another state or something. And she left everything behind for her family, I think on Long Island, to move with him in their own apartment. I think she was working at like a waitress or something, if I'm not mistaken, and he was working at a supermarket or something. The red sign, what I saw in the movie, was when he stated to her in the movie, you have to watch this, people. He tells her, "Oh, I wanted to work together at a supermarket, but I guess they didn't hire you, so you just suggested the other job." Right there, that was a red flag. Why is your man trying to be possessive with you? Let him be. Let you. You should be able to work anywhere and not be having a control freak on your ass. Okay, that was one. Now could you continue on to showing the red flags, where now she had found a friend nearby in Florida, and they tend to hang out. She was going out nightclubs, a party, whatever the case may be. He wasn't liking it. He always wanted her time, only her time. There was a scene where I think he was making dinner, and then she came with the lady, and they was gonna go out that same night. And he's like, "Oh, I made dinner for us," and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but we're eating it before we go." And he just had a real bad attack, meaning he just anger, his rage, and he has suffered with anxiety. It talks about that in the movie. You got to see this, people. Watching this really showed me the things she had went through behind closed doors, and it's unfortunate. I won't say too much in the movie, but overall, it's phases. It's slowly the phases. I said they first serenade you, they first spoil you, they show you the side they want you to see. Then they'll start with the small possessive shit. Oh, once you can't be with me all the time, or spend time with me when you're like, I live with you. I need time to go out and enjoy life. Then it's about come checking, throwing up your phone, texting you nonstop, the calls, what there. That's another sign. Then in this movie, particularly in this movie, then it was the arguments they had over the most pettiest shit, and she will always apologize for his actions. And the infamous videotape we all saw, they show that in the movie too, where she's crying and saying, "Well, he hit me, I hit him first, but then he attacked me," and how the cops kind of like, I'm sorry, but you guys, cops have to be retrained on domestic violence. See the red flags. They kind of like separated them. They show that and all that. And she was about to head back to whatever state she was going to go to. And then she ended up just picking him back at the hotel. Of course, she felt sympathy for him, thought things would get better, and it only just got worse. So just watch this movie. It's on Lifetime on Demand. If you have it, please watch this. I give it a 5 thumbs up. I don't only have 2 thumbs, but I'm gonna give 5 thumbs up. 5 stars, okay, people. Um, these actors did a hell of a job portraying Brian Laundrie and of course Gabby Petito, and their side of the story of how this all came about. And please, people, I cannot stress this enough, especially this is the Domestic Violence Awareness Month thing we're talking about. Please watch this. It's something that I think everyone could see how this all came about, and how the media put a lot into this to get what was it needed to get it resolved. But the case may be, I just feel like, down the line for our sisters and for our brothers, we need that same kind of media coverage when, God forbid, if we have our sisters and brothers in that same situation. Just saying. All right, so let's change up the mood right now with that. Let's get into Kanye West. I talked about this on the radio show this past Wednesday, but I feel like the visuals are better here, so let's get right into it. All right, people, as you guys see, this is what I'm talking about. So we have here Kanye West. He one of his antics again. Apparently, he was at his recent Paris fashion show, and of course, Candace Owens, who's on the right or left. I'm not going to say watching the picture here. She's a very well-known podcast. She has a podcast on YouTube, and she's very well-spoken, and she talks about a lot of things in the media, and she critiques into detail what, in her belief, what things should be corrected and all that sorts of things. I listen to some of her things. Something she has, some I agree to, but there's some other things she's way off on. So, hey, everybody's entitled to an opinion, like we have an asshole. So now this came along when they mentioned this. They showed this picture, Kanye West with Candace Owens, and they're wearing what shirt? The White Lives Matter shirt. Now here I'm gonna be I don't want to get into it, but I feel like I need to. Um, First of all, they always say the Black Lives thing was a scam and all that. I don't think so, because a lot of people for many years have been targeted, particularly the Hispanic and the African American community with the cops. And it's been overdue. There's still going on to this day. There is still in the news unfortunate situations of this matter. When I saw this on social media, I was just kind of disgusted, and I'm gonna be very honest why. Not because I respect everybody. I have love for everybody, okay? Creed, nation, what do you want to call it, right? Fine. But when a man of this stature who has a platform and has a brand, okay, instead of doing positive things, and trying to inspire people, he goes out of his way and uses his platform to kind of like mimic himself, or make fun of things. We all know he has issues, but the case may be is, why are you out there still doing these antics and talking about these designers that don't respect you, a Gap, how they shit on you, and how he's now called Ye, as also known as Jesus. I mean, listen, everybody's entitled to their opinions. Like I said, it's like assholes, right? So back to this shirt. I just took a little bit to offense, not all the way, but a little bit, because it's like, well, are you protecting the same ones that are disrespecting your family, your race? Have you not seen the news that's been happening? Our own kind people are still being tormented to this very day by the cops, with the police brutality situation and all these situations that we're being targeted. And he has the audacity to wear a shirt that says "White Lives Matter." Now, listen, again, I respect he has his opinion. I'm still trying to figure why is he wearing this shirt. It's just a mind blowing thing. But like I said, he did it for a reason, to have us talk about it, right? So, overall, I just feel like it's a little bit of an insult. And hey, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna keep watching his moves, see how he what next antic he's gonna be up to. If you guys have anything to say about this, please do on the comment section, or please do here on the live. I just feel like it's a little bit disrespectful, you know, in a sense, because it's like, it's a question mark there. I'm gonna leave that alone with that. Let's get into the next one. We're gonna talk about the violence. Talking about crazy stuff happening in New York City. Let's see what we got here. Yes, right here. So, people, I cannot stress this enough. I just talked about this last Wednesday on the show, and I'm gonna update this now. What's been happening? If you're not in New York City, cause I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys, okay? Now, apparently in New York City, there's been enough things happening as robbing, stabbing, the typical normal shit we see every day. And what I don't understand, people, is now we have a mayor who's been in office like a year or so, I guess, right? He states all these things we're gonna change in New York City, homelessness, all these sorts of things, protection for the United States citizens or New Yorkers, as they call it, whatever you want to call it. And ever since he stepped office, it's been nothing but chaos. The crime rate has gone sufficiently high, particularly in the New York City train system. And what I mean by that is that if you see this picture here, this is a prime example. There's a man here, I hope it's a man, I'm not mistaken, who is, I think, trying to, is he pushing somebody else, maybe towards the tracks? I'm just trying to figure this out. But pretty much the violence, particularly in MTA's train system, or overall, it's gotten worse. There has been recent now stabbings, robberies again. He mentioned it a while back that they're gonna have like now two cops per cart on the train. I don't know about that, because the last time I took a train, I didn't see one cop. So trying to figure this shit out. So yeah, people out there in New York City, please be safe out there. It's getting bad. Now there's a new thing where there's a group of women who are wearing green outfits or something. And if you see them, go as far away from them as possible. They're there as a agenda, and what the agenda is, they go out there to pretty much what is it? To rob you. That's the agenda. So if you see women in the group, is a women in a group? I don't know to what. It's like they wear all green or lime green outfits. They're there to purposely go out and rob people and attack them in the train. So these are things I'm finding out from other sources. I'm just giving you people here on the show. Please be alert all times. Please, people, don't be blasting your headphones, tuning off the world while you in the train system, because there are enough psychotic people in this world. Talking about that, may the EMT, not EMT, was she? No, was she EMT or she was FDNY? The young lady who just passed away not too long ago. I think she was an FDNY worker, I was something like that extent. I think she was taking a break somewhere, and the story goes where apparently a madman comes out of nowhere, who was off his meds. They always say that, and apparently stabbed the woman to death. And she did over 20 years. Yeah, FDNY. Okay, over 20 years serving her time with the FDNY, and she was about to get retired soon. And she also dealt with 9/11 at the time, many years ago, and she left behind her family, her kids. They just did a big thing for her here in New York City. We're not going off topic. I'm just talking about things that are happening around the world in New York City with the MTA violence. people out there just doing massive craziness in this world. And then now with this situation that happened recently, people, you gotta wake up. I cannot stress this enough. You gotta wake up, and it's always watch your surroundings in general. Please do. You're in the train, don't blast your headphones. Watch your surroundings. Have your phone nearby, but don't be on it all the time. Do not be on naps on the train. It's not safe. It's really bad. Please, I'm telling you for my own reasons. I've seen it. Yeah, this is a time where people now, inflation is high as fuck, and people are still just, doing what the hell they want because there's no control. The mayor's not in control of anything. He talks a hot game, but don't provide behind that. He's focusing on these immigrants that came from Texas that the I guess the governor of Texas actually sent them off to us to deal with less of a headache for them. He's focusing, putting them at Orchard Beach in the Bronx, and I guess he's placing them somewhere else. I don't know. But the case may be is first fix and help the people that are here before you help anybody else, Mr. Mayor Adams. That's all I'm gonna say on my 2 cents on that situation. Hope I said a whole lot, people. Hope you enjoyed that 2 cents of the current events today for this week and that. All right, guys. So we're gonna take another break here. Let me get out of here right now on that situation. Again, if you like what you hear, please do comment on that sense. Appreciate the love, guys. All right, guys. So we're gonna take a meditation exercise break. If y'all don't know what that is, pretty much it's a 5-minute video, and it pretty much helps us get back to on track, as they say. Getting ready for the work week, all that said and done, and all that situation, right? So it's pretty much, it's very self-explanatory. I'm gonna let the video talk itself too. It's this guided one too, so that's really helpful. And I hope you guys do a woosah, whatever you call it, and I'll be back here with you guys to finish the show with prayer for all. So guys, take a break, watch this video. Hope it'll be helpful, and I'll be right back. You're watching Healing Your Soul Sunday, so you with your girl here, yes, Vero G, and yes, people, will be right back, and stay tuned. I'm gonna play with it for y'all.
Hey there, and thanks for gifting yourself these next few minutes. It's important to remember that you're a priority, and allowing yourself even just a few short minutes of intentional reflection can really have a positive impact on the rest of your day. So let's use these next few minutes to come back to center and set an intention for the rest of your day. Move into a comfortable position, whether you're seated at your desk at work or laying on the couch at home, and gently close your eyes and shift all of your attention onto your breathing, taking slower, deeper breaths than you've taken all day so far. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and slowly letting it out through your mouth. And continuing to breathe that way, feeling your lungs expand out as you inhale and contract back in as you exhale. Tune into your body, noticing how it feels. Noticing if there's anything that it's trying to tell you. Notice any place of tension or tightness in your body. And give those areas permission to relax, sending love into those areas. Thank your body for taking such good care of you, and let it know that it's okay to rest and relax for these next few minutes. You may notice that your mind starts to wander off. That's okay. That's natural. Just notice it and bring your attention back to your body, using your breath as your anchor. Try to picture one thing that's happened today that's made you smile, or made you thankful or appreciative. And just let that feeling fill you up for a moment. Breathe that feeling in from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And allow yourself to smile if that feels natural. Now focus on something that you can do today, whether it's for yourself or for someone else, that will allow you to continue feeling this way. It could be something as small as deciding to go to bed early tonight so that you have time to finally read that book that's been on your bedside table, or the joy of getting dinner with a close friend. What's one little thing you can plan for your day to bring that intentional joy to it? Now just focus on that for a few minutes. Sit in that feeling of joy and peace. Now let's take a few more deep breaths together. A deep breath in, feeling your lungs expand out as you inhale, and everything contract back in as you exhale. Again, an even deeper breath than the one before it, holding that breath for a beat, and exhaling everything out. Last time, your deepest breath yet, sending that breath through your entire body. And exhale it out. And in your own time, slowly bring your awareness back to where you are. And thank yourself for taking these few minutes to just be intentional and kind to yourself. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and enjoy the rest of your day.
Hey guys, welcome back again. You're watching Healing Your Soul Sunday Show with your host, Vero G. Hope you guys enjoying the show today. The content, if you do, you could comment, where? On YouTube, Facebook, all that sorts, and Twitch, and that's said and done. So we're going to close out the show, guys. Usually do it by prayer for all. Let me get that situated for you guys. Like I said again, a lot of things we're working on this month and next month as well. Stay tuned for that. Also, I do want to mention before I get to prayer for all, the Vero G Awards, like I said, will be still happening. But like I said, everything is timing. Things are happening. People are now getting ready for the holidays. It's always something. So be patient, people. It's really worth the wait. I want to get things really finalized, situated before we make the official announcement. But stay tuned for that when it gets into its timing to be put together in due time. So yes, guys, again, you're watching Healing Your Soul Sunday Show with your host, Vero G. And we're going to close out the show with pray for all. Now, again, pray for all is pretty much, I'll make it short and sweet before we get into it, where I pretty much pray for anyone who's watching or tuning in or needs a prayer. This is for those watching in general, or maybe, like I said again, for different reasons. We all need a prayer in our life right now. We may be all going through something difficult or just something that we need during these tough times they're still living right now. So I do usually do it short and sweet. I don't get really into it. So I hope this will help. And those who are tuning in or maybe just need it for the insight. And I'm going to close my eyes and let the Lord take me as a vessel for him to do what I got to do. All right, so give me a minute, guys. Dear Lord, we're on this show today to help all these amazing souls that are watching and tuning in, to give them some enlightenment, to give them some insight, and to give them some clarity of hope. We may be all facing through some dark and challenging moments in our lives. But I feel down the line, as long as we have faith in you, Lord, that's all we need. For those out there that be going through whatever struggles, know that He is there watching, He is there listening to your prayers. Whatever, anything you need, you ask of Him. It may take a while to get to your answer to your prayers, but in due time, He does show you the way to let know that whatever you're seeking, He will give. Those out there that are hungry or homeless or whatever case may be what they're going through, don't worry. You're going through this test right now, but it's going to be overcome in due time. Those out there facing mental health issues, those are facing, financial situations, those are facing different other situations, their family, their home. Whatever you're going through, all you need to do is know that He is there. Lord, may you protect these souls. May you guide them through your insight, through your abilities of miracles. May you help them along the way. May you make sure those out there that are homeless or have need somewhere to stay, may you guide them, show them the way to have a place warm tonight. These weathers are changing and times are changing and everything else. May you make sure they have somewhere warm to stay tonight or whatever they need to be safe. Those out there starving or those out there that need a plate of food, Lord, may you guide them and show them a way, something that of a kind heart to give them a plate of food or somehow that they will be fed and have a good something in their belly for tonight. Those out there going through financial situations or hardships, Lord, may you continue blessing them in any way possible and show them that the good Lord is there for their side. Money is not all good, but sometimes money is there to help them to get on their feet. May you bless them and give them the insight that is needed, the tools that you have given me and given to anybody watching to continue on that strength that they need to push to get what they need to go at to get their money back on top or to help them along the way. Lord, I ask of you to give them guidance, give them as much possible clarity, as much possible any insight for them to continue on whatever they need to do for themselves in a good way. Thank you, Lord, for the blessings you have given me, and I am always going to be your servant to you, Lord. I'm always going to be on your side. Whatever you need me to do, I do without no question. Lord, thank you for these blessings you have given me. Thank you. Amen. Whew. Lord, I tell you, sometimes we need the word of God to come through us. Sometimes we need just insight. Maybe we all have our own situations, people, but I feel like sometimes this is the best way to just listen, because sometimes we all get tested for different reasons, and I feel it's just not because you're going through always bad things in life. See it as, you know what, it's a test to see how far your faith is, to see how far you devote yourself to Him. When I did that song Let Him Heal You over a year ago, people, over a year ago, I never knew it would be a life-changing decision for me, not in a bad way, but to receive accolades in worshiping the Lord. I have never ever been a song about Him, and it's the most weirdest thing. I tell you, it was a calling. He spoke to me, and I had to do what I had to do. And look how beautiful the blessings I have received for praising Him and letting the universe hear this beautiful song. Before we close out, I'm going to play the song one more time so you guys can hear it. Guys, it's available at all digital platforms on the latest album, Here I Am. Go cop that. It's available at all platforms. Again, thank you for everyone who's been supporting our brand. I'm going to applaud you guys. Yes. Thank you for my amazing team that still has been believing in our mission for over 4 years, people. Yes. Blessings are blessings and many upon blessings, people. Like I said, it's hard work and dedication, blood, sweat, and tears. And my team knows, my team sees. Every day is a struggle, but you know what? Unless we get right back up and do what we have to do and keep serving and keep doing what we have to do and fight those in this industry, the barriers that we have to break for other people to open their doors for them, so they don't have to fight as much as am I fighting for. Down the line it'll be easier road for them. This is what I do this for, not for me. I do this for just the platforms I provide, the radio, the magazine, this show, showcase, whatever we do. Um, it's in service for the Lord for me to give to you. So in the time, I get a little upset when people try to take advantage and try to not pay or try to come with the insults and disrespect. And I say, end of the day, I don't have to really do this. I could just be focused on me, but I'm not like that. I wasn't built that way because I'm one of God's children. So when if you're one of God's children, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And when you are it's not even being selected. It's just being pretty much a person who is anointed. That's the word we're trying to use right now. Um, God will use you as a vessel to show others there is good people in this world. Even though we live in an evil world, we live in a wicked world. We live in a world that is so much disrespectfulness and so much things are happening. There is still a few good people in this world that just want to help. Okay. So with that in mind, I hope you guys enjoy the show. I want to thank our amazing guest for today's show, SOKE CJ The Terror. Forgive me. He was amazing. Thank you for your amazing testimony and what you have gone through, and you have surpassed that. So thank you so much. Next week, people, we're gonna have Brian Garner, the CEO of Ladies Mike Magazine, and a few other platforms he has. Will be on the show. Also, we're gonna have the amazing artist, rap star, be in the building. So I'm excited for that. And I think we have another guest next other week as well. But if you want to be a guest on the show, guys, and be a part of it, just let me know. Contact me on my social media if you have me on Facebook or my IG, which is I'll show it to you one more time. If you guys can see that, hold on. Let me see that for you guys. Here it is. Yes, guys. Again, that is my Instagram is at official Vero G. You can find me there if you're interested. To contact me to be a guest on the show, or my other page was just on this show alone. Is Instagram at healing_your_soul_Sundays. Again, people, I don't ask for much in return, but if you like to donate anything to this show, we surpassed the 1 year anniversary, so it's phenomenal to experience this milestone. But again, if you anything you want to donate to the show, because I do have to continue paying for the service to have it on. Let me know if you like to contribute anything that goes directly to the show. I appreciate that. You can contact me where I told you. You could DM inbox me either way. I appreciate anything that comes along the way. Besides that, people, anything last minute before I sign out of here, I want to send to you. I think that's pretty much. Hold on, let me double check here. No, that's pretty much it for now. But anyway, guys, I want to thank each and every one of you who got time to watch the show today and took your Sunday to enjoy it. And again, have a blessed week. Be safe out there, please. There's a lot of craziness going on in this world. Just be safe, please. Just be safe. And thank you for all who've been blessing me with greatness to come. Those who know who I'm talking about. Thank you for those who've been blessing me. Like I said again, also quick announcement. I mentioned at my other live, but I'll mention it here. There is a movie premiere which I am actually personally got invited by the director. It's going to be supposedly in North Carolina. Now, I'm just trying to finalize things right now to see how to make it how possible going on there to support the movie and all that, because I'm also on the soundtrack, and my one of my songs is there actually Far Away. That song is in the soundtrack and in the movie, and also the song I did with Real Lyrics called Got Me Going Crazy is on that movie as well. So I'm just honored. I'm just honored for this beautiful blessing to have it on a movie. So thank you again. Um, thank you. But like I said again, in due time, we'll see. I'm just trying to see if I still be able to go or not. But either or, it's called Rainy Storms. It will be out this month, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because the premiere is this month. But I'll keep you guys posted. Anything. I'm just trying to fix this right now. if anything's said and done. Quickly, guys, go vote for me quickly at www.ldmradio.com for the song Far Away for the pop, of course, the pop category there. Also for I'm on the hip hop category, and that is for Through Their Eyes, or the name of the song's called Through Eyes, but they put Through My Eyes. It's fine. But it's there on the hip hop category. This is the pop, and also you go again, people, vote for our song. Again, we're on the top 10 this week. Thank you for your votes, people. But y'all gotta vote every week. That's how we get it done there. So again, the song is called "Got Me Going Crazy" featuring Real Lyrics. Go check that out. That's on the R&B category. Also, guys, quickly, you could go check my album out. It's been out for over a year online. There you go. All the platforms, you can see it there. That it's called Here I Am. It's available on all platforms. Thank you for all those who've been supporting me. But the platforms, the Spotify, thank you for the amazing followers who've been now watching and listening, or monthly listeners, I call it. Thank you for those who've been just supportive, and I appreciate genuinely from the bottom of my heart. You know, support is everything, so I appreciate you guys. Also, quick side note, like I said again, big shout out, big shout out to Lovely Scott, who actually is, well, she is working on the Vero G lavender tea candles. If you see, that's the information there. That is the name of her brand. It's called Aura of Amora. I hope I said it correctly. LLC. Again, these are just I right now. She technically told me this over a month ago. Because she's been seeing how I've been working, doing what I'm doing, the KCB, and I'm just honored to have one of the candles for her company be the Vero G lavender tea candles. And lavender is amazing. It's a great way. It's great for teas. It's great for soothing your nervousness, your anxiety. It's just great tea. Not tea. I'm sorry. Actually, it's tea candle, but I'm talking about. It's a great way to kind of relax and all that. Also, check out. I cannot stress this enough. Big shout out. I'm gonna promote him as well here. Might as well, because I got both candles here actually. I can show you guys. And this was one of my birthday gifts, by the way. Big shout out to Soulful Candles. Go check them out. They have the fall issue out now. Go support them. I have this is one of my birthday gifts. Big shout out to James for that. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you guys see that? I don't know the thing color. All right, Soulful Candles. Yeah. So support it, people. Support it. It's an amazing candle. The scents are phenomenal. They have the fall collection now. They have pumpkin scent. They got different types of scents. Whoo! I might like this one tonight. I don't even know. It depends how I feel in the mood. But they have amazing, and the wax candles. So definitely support, guys. Support. Check them out. Also, like I said, right now, big shout out to Aurora. Hope I said it right. The name you saw there, I'm going to show it one more time. Hold on. Where is the candle thing? I just had it here. It always disappears and it comes back. Here it is. Okay. Big shout out to Aura of Amora. All right, LLC, for this amazing opportunity to make my own candles. Again, this is one of my samples. I have mine here. I gotta get reorder actually when I get a chance. It smells really good. It's same thing as well. Wax candle. You guys can see that. Oh, you guys can see that, Lord. It's a very well. See, I love my scented candles, but yes, again, people, support. You know, these small businesses. It's hard as it is a struggle to do what you gotta do and love what you can. So support. You know. All right, people. So I'm gonna close out the show with "I Let Him Heal You" again. The nominated, actually the award-winning song, because I wanted to see. I did promise I'm gonna show you that. So, the award-winning song "Let Him Heal You." People, I just want to show you, dreams do come true. And don't let anybody tell you any different. Let me just take this sign down so you can see the thing. Hold on. Okay? Dreams do come true, people. And let me tell you, this was hard work and dedication. I don't know if you guys can see, because this thing's acting up sometimes. Yes, let me guys see the name there. If not, it's fine. You'll see it by back anyway. So this is hard work and dedication, sleepless nights, investing in myself, and never giving up. So this is a prime example of, if I could achieve it, so can you. You have to put in that extra work and that time and dedication to it. So I just want to thank again Sita for this beautiful, amazing award. I watch it every morning. I wake up, I look at it, and I'm just amazed. What this beautiful gift God has given to me, and thank you, Lord, for this and what to come. Like I said again, and it was award. It was nominated last night for Song of the Year and New Gospel Artist of the Year 2022. I didn't win, but I felt like a winner because either way, the song got nominated. So that means it got its recognition. Thank you again, Holla Back Excellence Awards. Thank you, Jerry, for that amazing opportunity. Thank you, my team again, who came through support. And end of the day, I'm gonna just keep doing what I got to do in God's work, you know. So thank you guys again. I'm gonna play this song for you guys right now. Again, you're watching Healing Your Soul Sunday Show with your host Vero G. I'll see you guys next week. God bless you all. Have a blessed Sunday, and we're out of here. So I'm gonna play this, and I'm out of here, guys. Have a great one, and until then, next week. Bye.
Gotta put your trust in Him. He will lead the way. Let Him heal you. Give me strength every day. Let Him heal you. Blessings come my way. Let Him heal you. Give me strength every day. Let Him heal you. Blessings come my way. God, put your trust in Him. He will lead the way. Open your heart to Him. Take your pain away. Savior, our God. Let Him heal you. Give me strength every day. Let Him heal you. Blessings come my way. Let Him heal you. Give me strength every day. Let Him heal you. Blessings come my way. Out of the darkness, you were always there. I was torn and broken. I'm back in your grace. Lord, I will praise you. Lord, I will praise you. Let Him heal you. Give me strength every day. Let Him heal you. Blessings come my way. Let Him heal you. Give me strength every day. Let Him heal you. Blessings come my way. Let God give you the way and the strength to go on and move on in your life. Let Him lead you to the way, to the path of your destiny. May we all go into one. Give me strength every day. Gotta put your trust in Him. He will lead the way.